up, Woodward? We are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up.
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up. But with the WUW WUW Crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm. Because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Hey, what up, though, people?
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? We're still waking up with Woodward, huh?
Yeah, we is a little bit.
Soon, man. So we waiting for the sun to come up just over these trees over here to my left, over the legendary Woodward Avenue. It's your boy Brandon Dan, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Pistons reporter and writer for the network. And we got KG, Detroit's #1 draft pick,
Yes,
going
sir.
for MVP, a.k.a. Black Hollywood, filling in for Flannel Sam. Brother, we love you, man. We get you back in the studio tomorrow.
That's what I was waiting on.
There we go.
Listen, we not that dark, bro. We dark. We ain't that dark.
Truly a black cast.
Yeah, right. In all senses.
But hey, you know what, man? Hey, let's get a little bit of music going. That dude, Justin.
Right,
we got
let's lighten the vibes in here, bro.
Yeah, man. Hey, look,
people been tripping, dog. These last
tripping.
24 hours, they've been tripping,
and
dog.
I get it, rightfully so.
No, absolutely.
And we're gonna talk a lot about it today. I'm excited about breaking down not just the game, but where the Detroit Lions go from here, because I still like the pedigree of this team.
Yeah.
All of the intangibles that we talk about as it relates to Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, the way that they've structured, molded, and built this team, we've recognized that with this next man up, as we're seeing them get down to now the end of their talent well, that culture is still there, and everybody who's walking through those doors are trying to make sure that they meet that too. So we're gonna talk about it today. You know what? We got to talk about the Detroit Pistons win in the opening segment just real quick. And we got a lot of lines, like we said. David Montgomery is the latest of the Detroit Lions to join the season-ending list due to an injury. Knee injury. Goodness gracious, man. It's like every single game, every single week, we're having to recap another big-time player that's now left. Yeah. But the Lions all year have proven they can overcome. We're going to see if they can still do it again. You know what?
They ain't got a choice.
They have no choice.
We in too deep now. We in too deep.
But the reason why we have to talk about it is because I assumed that, yeah, of course. But then I keep looking across the landscape. I'm looking at the comments, things starting to change. Fans and One Pride are starting to kind of revert back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are these fans? Are these the fans that have been learning how to be a fan of a team with Super Bowl expectations? Sometimes adversity hits. How much adversity is too much? We'll get into that a little bit later. You know, and we're going to talk about it with the season goals. And we got to talk about our MVP, NFL MVP. We have our ballot as a show. We actually did vote on this thing. So we're all now official voters of the NFL MVP from Woodward Sports via Wake Up Woodward. And we're going to reveal that as well as our top 10 Tuesday. And when I looked at what Flannel sent in, because we're going to reveal his list, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to utilize his list, and based off that one, we could talk about what we would probably do different or whatnot.
Okay.
There's a couple of changes on there. One of them definitely shocked me when I looked at it, but we'll get into it.
I hope you don't got the Seahawks at 2, bro. That's all.
The Seahawks at 2. No. The Packers heard me, and they took care of business.
They took it personal.
Geno Smith, man, get healthy. Get healthy. He is on the fantasy squad. But you know what? The Detroit Pistons, they win 125-124 in overtime.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
Listen, in the post-game article I put, in a thrilling overtime. The arena, I thought that there should have been a few more people in there, but I get it. These things are trends, and the Pistons haven't done enough right now to justify fans coming out and saying, you know what, we believe. When you look at 17 wins and 14 wins after being sold a complete bill of hope and a complete bill of restoration, but then you get some of the worst, the worst Detroit Pistons basketball by the record ever, then I can understand why fan apathy is what it is. But is there a point where fans can make a difference? And I'm not saying like pulling a team from the gutter up to the next tier. Because right now, the Detroit Pistons win last night with the Brooklyn Nets getting washed. Moves them back into playing positioning, and I believe that the schedule is favorable in front of them. Got to shout out Cade Cunningham. He got a triple-double, another triple-double, 20 points,
future All-Star,
18 assists, 11 rebounds, 3 assists from behind the arc, man. Cade Cunningham was doing his thing. He had the 4 turnovers. Anytime he's under 5 turnovers, I'm with it. And Eric Spoelstra talked about that as well before the game via. Hey, shout out to Eric Vincent of Clutch Points.
Big shout out.
That's our homie. That's our guy, man. I'll leave it right there, man. Shout out to you, Eric. And he was able to post that video and of Eric Spoelstra talking about it, like, yo, you guys are blowing this out of proportion effectively. Cade is that deal.
Yep.
So it's just like jump on the bandwagon. Why? Because they're still in playing positioning. Look, we're a third of the way through the season, and the Pistons are still in postseason positioning. This is where Detroit is supposed to make the difference. We talk about why do people want to come here or not. And I get it. The culture with the Lions have completely changed, and them winning makes a huge difference. But I do believe that the fans of Detroit have the opportunity that if you start to pack out LCA, you get the opportunity to give that team just a little bit more. Have some of these other players who are walking in here, because now it's a litany. It's a long list of players that are joining this whole, hey, these players are now on the trading block. Imagine if they're coming to LCA knowing the Pistons are watching us right now. Their fans are looking like those fans that we used to believe that they were. Imagine that. Now all of a sudden when the Pistons come calling, their agents aren't saying, hey, let's duck this team. No, now all of a sudden the vibes in the city are right. They're realizing, oh, snap, we're driving into Woodward Ave, not out into Auburn Hills. Oh, snap, this team is actually playing for something, and the city is resonating right now. I do believe at this juncture right now, this early in the season, it's a safe bet to buy in. Shout out to Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley put up a heck of a game last night, man. Flamethrower, 28 points, 7 of 13 from behind the arc. And Asar Thompson was doing all the things that we believed he could do. He was a facilitator, and so he helped to drop the usage rate of Cade Cunningham, both offensively and defensively, because he was all over the court. It allowed Cade Cunningham to not just get rest, but while he was in the game, he didn't have to necessarily run around the court trying to defend everybody.
Right.
Usually he's guarding Jimmy Butler in some of those cases, but Asar Thompson was just on one last night, and just to shout him out, 19 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of 14 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc, but the shot looked good. One of them rimmed out. So overall, good product from the Pistons. They got to keep it up. The Heat were 13-10. They were in a solid playoff position spot, and the Pistons lost Isaiah Stewart in the game. We're still waiting. It might be bad. We don't know yet, but his knee hyperextended, and Jalen Duren was in foul trouble all game. So for the Pistons to pull this one out, I know they should have probably won this one in regulation, but it's still a character win for them.
No, absolutely, man. And I will continue to say it. LCA is a place that it deserves wins at this point. It deserves to have a winning culture in that building. It's such a beautiful building, and it's just a shame that the Red Wings and the Pistons haven't been able to hold up their end of the deal. But 100. When you just look at this Pistons team right now, and to kind of revisit like what you were saying before we get into the game a little bit, do we realize, like, okay, the Pistons are at 11 wins. How many wins did they have last year?
14.
What's today's date?
Sheesh, bro. All the dates are the same to me.
Right.
Tuesday, December 17th.
But my point being, it's middle of December, and the Pistons have already damn near matched their win total from last year. So clearly this shit is completely different. But I can't necessarily sweat fans yet, because one, when you got a team like the Pistons and you're playing, most nights during the week, it's going to be hard for people to want to come out to those games, especially during weekdays, people work and things like that. So people don't want to spend their money on a losing product, and you can't fault people for that. But I absolutely would implore people to start getting downtown more, because this team is for real. And we don't mean for real in the sense that they're going to win an NBA championship, but they are for real in the sense that they are changing the culture. They are changing, reversing a lot of the hurt that we have experienced for the past 10 years or so with this team. And like I said, it took so long for the front office and for ownership to actually take this shit serious, because for a long time, I mean, the most highlight years we've had is the Blake Griffin years, and those weren't even necessarily good.
I think that he took them serious. I just don't think that he made the right decisions with his money. He spent and he went after the names. SVG was one of the most desired candidates during the time that the Pistons hired him. Monty Williams was the coach, the hot name when the Pistons hired him. Dwayne Casey had just won Coach of the Year when the Pistons hired him. Blake Griffin was the biggest star they were ever going to get. So it's like he's trying, but I believe he tried to, shortcut it. And when they did hire Troy Weaver, that's, again, a situation where Arn Tellem, who had a history with Troy Weaver, said he's the guy. They bring him in. They try to work in tandem. It didn't work out. But you did get a nice nucleus of young players. Where Trajan Langdon has excelled is that he had a better grasp on what veteran players to bring here. And that, to me, is what's made the difference right now, along with these young players stepping it up. Because you know what? Jaden Ivey didn't play last night either.
No,
that's when I say that was a character win. And you look at what the squad is doing. That's why I'm like, yo, these guys picked each other up last night. And that was like the overall theme of both Cade Cunningham and JB Bickerstaff in the press conference last night. And we got the opportunity to talk to them for a little bit. So, you know what? Shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. That's from Ryan. I was Tim Hardaway for last because overtime was
his
epic.
overtime was crazy.
It looked like the Pistons were headed for a loss. When we were there, I brought you guys. We all went to the game.
Yeah.
Boots on the ground. 2004 Pistons night when they're honoring them, and it looked like the Pistons were about to get that dub against the Heat. And then similar thing, a collapse in the fourth quarter led to a funky three that sunk them. And it was just like, yo, here we go again. Mm-hmm. But when Tim Hardaway hit those three back-to-back threes, it was like, wow. And LCA, it wasn't filled to the brim, but it was so loud that I was like, oh, my word, bro. If this thing was 30, 40% more full, this would be epic. And
absolutely.
I know this. You want your players to always play all out. But I can state this, and maybe you guys will know it too. Come on, man. Y'all already know, man. If your girl looking at you and she like, you know what? You really the man. Y'all know you're like, whoa, there's a whole other level I can get to. That's what the city can be for the Pistons. And if they're in playing position right now, I do believe go down and at least enjoy that right now. The vibes are beautiful.
No, absolutely, man. And I can't speak enough to the job JB Bickerstaff is doing with this team. And last night was a recipe for a Pistons loss. By the time I tuned into the game last night, they were up 15. And then I get to watching, and the lead just slowly dwindles and dwindles and dwindles. And, you see, not Zach, I'm almost saying Zach LaVine. You see Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, once again, starts having one of those nights where he's going to bury the Pistons, man. And then you get into overtime and they go on an 8-0 run, and it's like, what the hell? This is set up for a Pistons loss, but they found the resilience. Tim Hardaway Jr. stepped up big, and they played the defense when it mattered, and they got the dub, man. And it speaks to the maturation process of this team, man. They will not go away. They will not just, rest on their laurels. They will not let bad runs get the best of them. They keep fighting. They keep finding ways to try and pull out these wins in a somewhat weak Eastern Conference. And I'm really happy at the progress they've made so far, although we still need to see more. We do still need to see more.
I mean, we're going to see more. I believe that this is just a situation that as it continues on, then we're going to be happy. Right now, the Pistons are a team that is winning almost 41% of their games through a third of the season. That is progress. That is more than enough progress right now. And even though we want to see them take a bigger step forward, and it's largely because this team wasn't 14 wins bad last year, and it wasn't 17 wins bad the year before. These teams were taking a progress where we thought they could jump into that 30-win mark. Right now, they are on pace to win 30 games. That was the preseason pick that I had. But they are doing better earlier in the season than I predicted. I thought that their 30 wins was going to come because they were going to have a run similar to the one they had during Cade's rookie year. If they have they're going to have a slightly better run than that, in my opinion. The chemistry is getting there. Cade and Malik Beasley are looking really, really good together, and there were some solid minutes from Fontecchio with Cade.
Finally.
They were forced to do it. There was no Ivy, there was no Stu, there was no Dirt. They were forced. And look at him. My man came down, and I was talking with somebody like, man, we don't get to see these minutes. First play after that, Cade, Fontecchio, 3. Next play. 2 plays after that, Cade came down, cross, went to the rack, Fontecchio cut. One of the things we talk about, he doesn't sit, he'll move. Boom, laid it in. And so it's like, you know what? This team is moving in the right direction, but we got to break down these Detroit Lions.
We do. Story of the day, man.
It's story of the season right now.
Yeah.
Injury after injury after injury, but they've continued to overcome. Hey, chat family, I need you guys to tell me what your confidence level is right now in the Detroit Lions. And make sure you hit that like button. Let's get our like poll in the chat, JB Smooth. And on the other side of the break, we'll definitely make sure that we shout out the rest of the crew. Dante151 Super Chat 199. He says, shout out to Jalen Duren for not falling out in OT. You know what? When OT started, we looked up and we said, Jalen Duren, Tim Hardaway Jr. and it was somebody else had 5 fouls.
Yeah.
Maybe Malik Beasley. And all of them finished the game without fouling out. And Jalen Durham played much more aggressive last night in the second half of the game when he was able to play because they were giving us some tic-tac fouls, man.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler, he had a triple-double too, but come to the Pistons. I told y'all that yesterday.
Yeah, man.
I told you.
He'd be the perfect fit here, man.
I ain't be trying to shop him, but you know what? Let's get into this next one because Brian Roof said it best. I'm fired up, man. Stoked, not MFing scared.
Damn
Let's
right.
go. And you know what? Where you can show all of this, it's at the Lions. It's at the best pregame Lions party in the city, man.
You mean the one Woodward Sports do?
Hey, that's the one that Woodward Sports does. Hey, the one that Chase, when he was intern Chase, I'm talking about boots on the ground Chase. He was there making sure that the fans was getting all the content. That dude, Justin, hey, Neil and Sean Belegian, and all of the fans that show up is epic. It's at Detroit's very own second best bar. It's located at 42 Watson Street. Randy Watson. Right in the heart of the city, right in the middle of the action. It's where you guys want to be for the ultimate fan experience, and you get to enjoy a little smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching the Woodward Sports pregame show. Only on Woodward Sports Network. At second best bar. Come get some.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry, offer ends December 20th.
Yo, y'all just saw the spot, man. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. And listen, they 50 plus Metro Detroit locations. We all know that, but there's thousands, maybe even millions around the world, man. Anywhere you go, there is a Planet Fitness to suit you. You go get that Black Card membership, $15 a month, and get treated right, man. It's the new year. Why wait for the new year? The New Year's resolutions, you know that's bullshit, bro. Let's get in the gym right now. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Essential. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. Goodness gracious, bro, we got to talk about this, man. All of these injuries, and this time is to Knuckles himself, David Montgomery. And just, we keep asking the question, can the Detroit Lions overcome? And all season they have, but is enough, is there a point where the cup has just filled up too much? But what up, though? Cavassier Chase is in the building. How you feeling, brother?
Hey, I'm doing all right, man. I'm feeling okay. Obviously the injuries are tough to swallow, but I do want to say quickly shout out to a couple friends of mine, Jocelyn and Ben. They just got engaged last night, so it's kind of lightening up my mood. A couple friends from community college.
Shout out.
A couple of University of Michigan grads as well. So just want to
What? You have U of M friends?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
Oh man. You know what? Let's jump into this David Montgomery conversation here. He's going to undergo season-ending knee surgery. Another blow, and this time to one of the star attractions. You could overcome, so far to this point, a lot of these injuries, but now in just one game, you're talking about Carlton Davis, Aleem McNeil, and David Montgomery. How do they overcome, KG?
I don't know, man. Yesterday,
sorry to load you up the question.
No, you good. But I mean, yesterday I was kind of on my Tyrese meme shit. Like, what more do you want from me? Like, what more do you have to take from this team, man? It just don't seem like the football gods is really shining on us right now. But now that I had some time to sleep on it, and listen, I'm not going to come here today and try to police anybody's feelings in regards to whether you think the future of this Lions team is in question. I mean, we got to just be real about the situation. I haven't seen an injury situation, in particular with the Lions, this bad ever in all my years of watching this thing.
I've never seen this ever with any
It's
team.
crazy. And I said this yesterday. It's getting to a point where, okay, you had a lot of players on the injured list. I think around like 13 to 14 players that were on the injured list, and the rest were on IR. Now the IR side is starting to fill up a lot. So, I mean, at this point, all you can do is just lean on your coaching staff. That's what's gotten you this far, man. You're going to have to lean on Dan Campbell. You're going to have to lean on Ben Johnson. You're going to have to lean on Aaron Glenn, and even, Terrell Williams. Everybody has to pitch in at this point, because it's going to take all hands on deck. This shit is not getting any easier as we continue to march ahead, towards hopefully a number one seed and trying to get to a Super Bowl. So I'm at the point now where, do I feel like they can still get to a Super Bowl? Absolutely, without a doubt in my mind. Can they win the Super Bowl? That's a different conversation. But the Lions, the NFC, this is a conference that we've controlled for most of the year. And when you look at the playoffs, most of the teams that are in, we have faced and beaten at this point, all besides the Eagles. So I think it's imperative to go get that number one seed at this point. Before it was, let's just line them up wherever the cards fall. That's where I'll be. But at this point, I feel like it's absolutely imperative to get that number one seed, because that week of rest could prove to be everything
Huge
for this Detroit Lions
especially
team.
when you talk about the clock being started on one Mr. Ifeatu Melifonwu as well. So they do have some more reinforcements. And I know we were excited about the ones that were on the way back this past game, but what you realize is full participant in practice doesn't mean that they're 100% healthy. That just means that they were able to get through the practice. And Aleem McNeil, he was hobbled the week before, and we see that this game, it was basically the straw that broke the camel's back there. Yeah. But when I saw what the Lions did, when you talk about the coaches being able to scheme things up to try and make up some of this difference, at least I'm very glad that we have the coaches that we do have, the coordinators and the position coaches. We talk so much about them. And when Aleem went out, when Carlton Davis went out, did the Lions falter, or did the offense literally pick up the defense the way that we believe they could? And that's the thing. I believe that as you're moving forward, you have to shift what you're going to do. Before, you had the opportunity to call a more balanced game plan, because you had the horses. You had David Montgomery to be able to control more of that time of possession. But now I believe you just have to go out there. You have to play a little bit different. If Jared Goff is the guy that you can put the game in his arm, because we're not talking about a healthy Lions team right now. We're not talking about a team that only has lost Aiden Hutchinson, and we're like, oh my gosh, how are they going to overcome that? We're not talking about the squad that lost Aiden Hutchinson down for. We're talking about the squad that has been completely decimated in a way that I just can't remember. I don't remember this happening to another contender that people believe, they have an opportunity to win a Super Bowl. But here we are. That offensive side of the ball, it's been the most healthy unit all season. Obviously, Taylor Decker is a little hobbled, and you lose David Montgomery, which is huge. You talk about a surefire 4 or 5 yards per carry. and he's knocking the block off of the freaking defensive line as well. Those things matter as the game goes on, and we're talking about weakening it up. So I do want to see them, though. This offensive side of the ball is still elite. It's still the most healthy aspect of it. We did see them because David Montgomery, he still only had 5 carries. So we saw this Lions team, after they caught their stride, still hang with the Buffalo Bills. They still hung for them, stride for stride, touchdown for touchdown. And that's where I want to see Ben Johnson be able to make a difference. I do have faith in Aaron Glenn because we've seen him do this last year, but he did have the benefit of Aiden Hutchinson.
No, absolutely. And the greatest strength of this Lions team is the culture. It is that grit culture. And I know it's cliche. I know we keep saying it, oh, grit, grit, grit. They'll figure it out. But you just got to look at the product they put on the field this year. A big part of this is the Lions culture and their resolve and how they don't just hit the mat. They always get up, man. So you got to be able to lean on that in times like this because, like I said, nobody's coming to save the Detroit Lions. There is nobody you can sign at this point in the season that is going to come in and be a godsend for you. Like, we are literally relying on our some of our starters, a lot of our bench, and a lot of our practice squad at this point. So I do agree with what you said. We do need to get a little bit more aggressive offensively and defensively. Defensively, we might have to see a little bit what we saw last year, going into the NFC Championship game, and when AG has to dial up the blitz a lot more. He's going to have to find ways to scheme and disguise these blitzes and be able to send safeties and linebackers to provide extra pass rush, because one thing you cannot do, especially in a playoff situation, is just let quarterbacks eat you up. So I do agree with that. And also offensively, as long as you got Jared Goff offensively, I feel like we'll be fine. We still have Jahmyr Gibbs. Hopefully nothing happens to him. I mean, wrap everybody in bubble wrap at this point, but you still have Jahmyr Gibbs. You have Isaiah Ivaki, who a lot of us had faith in, once he was drafted here. He's shown some flashes, but now this is a point where this team absolutely needs you, so you have to step up. They have Craig Reynolds as well, somebody that we've seen make plays for this team, especially over the last year, heading into that NFC Championship. So you got to lean on your guys. This is what you have these guys on the roster for. The Lions do not have a choice. We are in too deep at this point. You got to figure it out.
And I believe they can. Because the offensive line, I believe in this offensive line. I believe that even average quarterbacks, running backs are going to look a little bit better. A little less than average are going to look a little better. And those good running backs are going to have a field day. And that's what we see with a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, who this season moved into that position where he's getting 4, 5, 6 yards a carry. So from that perspective, I don't believe the Lions are going to be hurting. Actually, you have a little bit more opportunity for that home run ability and capability with Jahmyr Gibbs, but you lose that kind of sure-minded knowing we're punching you in the mouth with David Montgomery, which was just awesome. And seeing him get those longer touchdown runs, the blocks, because that's one thing that I believe, protections. He is, in my opinion, the better blocker between he and Jahmyr Gibbs. Not that Jahmyr Gibbs cannot handle it.
No, absolutely.
But I believe in those types of protection plays, you probably see a guy like a Craig Reynolds back there. So that's where hearing you talk about what we do have, understanding the coordinators we do have, understanding that when Craig Reynolds has gotten his opportunities, he's looked pretty decent back there through the years. That's the reason why he's still here.
He can give you a lot of what Monty gives you right now.
Exactly.
I'm not saying he's David Montgomery by any stretch, but he can give you a lot of what he does.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So if you still have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's proven he can run between the tackles, how instrumental has that been, seeing him run between the tackles and get you 6 and 7 yards a carry?
He's a tough back. Make no mistake.
Yeah, and that's
you're gonna have to lean on him more. Yeah. I mean, just real. Not to say he needs to be a workhorse back, but a lot of those, plays where he would get out of the backfield, you need to pass some of those to Vaki now, and then you need to have Jahmyr Gibbs running between the tackles and kind of leading the way in terms of setting up your offense. Because I praise Monty up here. To me, he's the most important running back to what the Lions offense wants to do. He sets everything up for Gibbs to be able to go in there and eat, during a second drive or a second quarter in which he gets most of the carries. So it's going to be imperative on Jahmyr Gibbs to don't shy away from running through the tackles, because you still need to provide that presence. And as long as we have the best offensive line in football, which I still believe we have, I think we can still simulate that and be fine.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, we still have good players. It's not like we're sitting here saying, hey, how are we going to scheme up for running back average player? Like, it's Jahmyr Gibbs.
Exactly.
And when you know now what you have to scheme for, I believe that gives them a better opportunity to have a game plan for the personnel they have. I don't know how you scheme for the game, for the personnel that they wound up with. No David Montgomery, no Carlton Davis, no Lee McNeil. At that point in time, it's just, hey, guys, let's make something work. Obviously, these guys are going to have different packages they can bring to the table, but there's a reason why they do prepare for each and every game and why they have specific personnel. Now they're getting to the point where they're going to have to scheme based on which is what they have left, which is something that I saw Aaron Glenn do very, very well last year and do very, very well this year, to the tune of us seeing this defense be elite. Now, they've given up 79 points in the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
They got to get that under control, but some of that's also going to have to do with who they played. The reason why that's important, though, is because when you're in the playoffs, those are the teams you're going to be playing. Those teams that can put up the points in a hurry with some pretty special quarterbacks. And that's where I want to see the defense get a little bit more aggressive. I know that as they get healthy, they're going to get some more reinforcements. That's where, to your point, and everyone else's point who knows this, you got to get that first round bye if you can. I believe that they have what it takes to get this thing done. I mean, really do.
How do you not at this point? And I do understand the injuries are a real thing, because how many more blows can this team really take? We still talking about another 3 weeks left in the regular season. We ain't even got to the playoffs yet. So you really can't afford any more injuries, but we got to just be able to lean on what has gotten us here to this point. And that's been Dan Campbell, making the right decisions at the right time. That's been Ben Johnson dialing it up. It's been AG supplementing whatever the hell he got on defense. Because we forget, the Lions defense has been banged up ever since Hutch went down. Like, we have really had no rest on the defensive end of this. I know Monty is a blow, of course, because that's one of your major pieces on offense. But as long as the offense can step up, and I feel like a lot more games are going to be predicated on the offense being able to step up and outscore teams, as long as we can get a little bit of that and AG can just find some way to provide a pass rush, then, like I said, I have no doubt in my mind that the Lions are still a Super Bowl loading team. Now, can they win it is a whole different conversation, but getting there, I see the path. I do.
Yeah, definitely. And you want to be able to get there because anything can happen. We've seen that. As well as, though, how you set yourself up for the future when you get some of these people healthy going into next year. But right now, they're going to finish business. And I want to talk a little bit more about this and the strategy on the other end of the set, of talking to some friends. I'll be able to get our elite booth involved as well, hear their comments. I know that dude Justin, as well as Woodward Sports MVP JB Smooth, have some things to say about it. But what friends we're going to say what up, though, to JB Smooth?
Les Stanford.
Hey, let's rock. Les Stanford. Hey, go to Les Stanford.
Yeah, you should, right?
You should, man. Hey, because that's usually a Sam Reed, but I will definitely do my best. What I know about Les Stanford is this: they're good people, and they take the time to give you the best service possible. So make sure that you guys check out Les Stanford today. They will take care of you. I promise you guys that. You guys already know that they're taking care of people in the Metro Detroit and all over Michigan for years. 4 years. Les Stanford, together. Let's drive. Let's rock.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hot mic, and you know we got some new hot items for you as well too. We got the New Holland Tangerine Space Machine, the intergalactic haze of goodness right now that you can go and pick up for yourself. Grab it at any store right now, and I don't know if you noticed, but this is the official beer of outer space, so they have this on tap on the moon for you, ready to go whenever you need it. The Tangerine Space Machine, intergalactic haze of goodness, brewed by New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of Holland, Michigan, so you can support locally as well too. But you know, after you had a couple of those, you're feeling a little tipsy, why don't you head over to woodwardsports.com. We are dropping new designs every single week for you. You know, we got the Roll Pride up there as well too. We got the Civilian 16, which I designed actually myself, and Dan Campbell's speech as well too. New designs every single week for you. Get swagged out. You know you want to show off when the playoffs get here.
Get swagged out. What up, though, people? Welcome back. It is Wake Up Woodward. It's your boy Detroit Kool-Aid. We got KG on the desk as well. For Flannel Sam, he will be back on the show tomorrow. Hey, but let's get those likes up, man. Hey, look, man, y'all got to satisfy that like button. Y'all got to treat it right.
I don't know if people in the mood, man. A lot of people probably flat today.
Well, you know what? That's why we about to talk about this segment, because there are two teams that came into the season as contenders. Both got hit with the injury bug. One got decimated more. One has everything still right in front of him, while the other one is going to be watching from home.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about it. So I think that's reason enough to satisfy that like button, because the Lions still have a great roster of players, and we're going to talk about some of those guys like Jared Goff, like Zadarius Smith, like Jack Campbell, like Brian Branch. Come on, what y'all talking about?
Hey, man, it's Wake Up Woodward, man, and it's time to wake up your feelings. The Lions are still a Super Bowl caliber team, so just go ahead and hit that like button for your boys. We working hard in here, baby. We is.
Let's rock. Hey, and you know what? If the Lions win out, they still get the #1 seed. We already know they're going to the playoffs because of everything they've done to overcome and show that they have enough no matter what. Even when national media left them for dead, even when sometimes some fans left them for dead, they still found a way to pull themselves to 12-2. And that second loss came at the hands of one Josh Allen by 6 points, and it had an opportunity still at the end to get an onside kick. But the San Francisco 49ers, the defending NFC champions, I think we remember that team, right?
Yeah.
They've been decimated by injuries as well. Does anybody know what their record is? 12-2, right?
Nah.
Oh, no?
Not at all. Not even close.
6 and 8.
Yep.
And they're going to most likely miss the playoffs. This is where I want to be able to caution people here, because even though the Lions have been decimated, like this is why I caution them against saying everything is just over. Why? It's because other teams aren't built like us. When Dan Campbell said this, he was not lying, because you know who's still left? Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, Kevin Zeitler, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, DJ Reader, Zadarius Smith, Jack Campbell.
It's a lot of dogs.
That's a lot of dogs. I didn't even name everybody on this elite offensive line. I didn't talk about even, we already understand the type of coaching that we have, that they've made differences for this team. I believe that things have gotten accelerated for the Lions' window of opportunity to win because of what these coaches have done to put these players in a really good position. A lot of these guys were young. A lot of these guys were first, second, and third year players. A lot of these guys are going through adversity right now. We're talking about who we're depending on, all of our young guys. And tell me when they haven't stepped up.
Yeah.
Tell me when they haven't stepped up.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just like, look, until you have buried me, until you have buried them, I have to believe up to this point this team has still found ways to put themselves in position to overcome. They didn't get blown out by the Bills. They didn't. They didn't just fold. They didn't just kind of fall down and die. They didn't just lay over and take it. They said, you know what? No, we got something that we're fighting for. And Jared Goff and that offense went out there and they picked themselves up after that first quarter. And that's where I'm like, you know what? You give this team some time to scheme. You give this team some time with the personnel that they now know they have. I do believe, especially finishing out the season, they have a great opportunity to finish with that number 1 seed and to overcome some of these injuries and still have everything in front of them. I can't disrespect guys like Penei Sewell. We all, before the season started, I was told he was one of the top 5 players in the NFL.
Yeah.
I was told he was the best lineman in the NFL. I was told, and now we're being told Jared Goff is an MVP candidate. And that even in the Bills game, he didn't hurt, but he still saved as it relates to being in that conversation. And when we continue to look down the list of these players here, there were some guys that made the Pro Bowl last year, for better or for worse, whatever you think about that. And these guys are still there. I believe in guys like Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. And you know what? You know, we didn't even talk about Jamison Williams. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what? Breathe a little bit. Try and be one of those fans of the team that has Super Bowl expectations and realize that these great ones, they just overcome. No one's winning these things without overcoming. And I do believe, even against the odds, this team has proven they're just one of those squads that can do so.
No, absolutely. This is why I say nobody feels sorry for the Detroit Lions. Yeah, you know, it was cute at first, especially last year. We finally got a lot of demons off of our back in terms of winning playoff games, getting to an NFC championship that we hadn't seen since 1991. But now people look at the Lions like, okay, you in these waters now. It is what it is. Nobody is going to sit up here and you know, coddle us. You know, we got to just go out there and do what we do, man. And that is going out there, being the living embodiment of the Dan Campbell speech at this point, because we've gotten down, we've gotten back up, we're taking kneecaps. Now we're at the point of the speech where we got to take other limbs as well, because this team just has to continue to find ways to win. But luckily for us, we do have a favorable next 3 weeks. So if the Lions are able to handle business and get that number 1 seed, then like I said, that week of rest can mean everything for this Lions team going into the playoffs, because everybody seems to be afraid of going to Philadelphia in the wintertime. And listen, I'm not saying that it wouldn't make a difference going to Philadelphia in the wintertime, but what I am saying is that the Lions are expected to win regardless. This is a Super Bowl or bust season. Like, we don't just get to check out of that just because of everything that has happened. Until Jared Goff goes down, now maybe when Jared Goff goes down, I'll be on that train. But
there you go.
Right now, we gotta keep pushing, dog. It is what it is.
Come on, like, that's what I'm talking about, man. We cheering Jared Goff from sea to shining sea. My man is still standing up right there, 12 and freaking 2. He just had 500 yards. That's what I'm saying. Like, what are we doing? We probably got the time to say and swing the stick at everybody. Like, we can. We can say, you know what? We don't care. Look what we've done all season. Y'all said our defense would cost us last year. Y'all said we didn't add enough at the break last year. I remember all of the logical reasons why the Detroit Lions were supposed to be one and dones in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they had themselves within a half, 20 freaking minutes. I'm sorry, Desk. I didn't mean to kick you. 20 freaking minutes of going to, sorry, Stick.
And hold on.
20 freaking minutes from the Super Bowl. What are we talking about right now?
And what did we do that with? We did that with the 28th ranked defense last year. And people got to realize that for everybody saying this is worse than last year, how can it be worse than last year? We were damn near bottom of the league in terms of defense last year, and we were still one half of football away from getting to the big dance. So we got to just look at this for what it is. This team is so much better, even with, you know, being injured and shit like we are. Our depth has improved. Like, the people we've brought in have stepped up. Like, this is a way better version of what we had last year in terms of, you know, how they're actually going out there and playing defense week to week. Even with all the injuries, we've maintained to be a top 10 defense in this league, and that's going understated. So I do understand these injuries are mounting up. It does matter, but we've been injured for quite a while now. I said this in the last segment. We've been injured ever since Hutch went down. We've had a slew of injuries, people in and out. I think Neil Rule said it yesterday, 29 different lineup combinations since Aiden Hutchinson has went down. And what is the result of that? We've only lost 1 game since then.
And you took
and no back-to-back losses
right out of my mouth, KG, because now the offense is going to have to carry the load. It is going to be purely on the offense. The offensive line did not play great against the Bills. Let's just call it how it is. That's something that's foreign to us. Our offensive line is usually the base this team. They need to step up. This offense needs to step up. It's on Goff's shoulders now. Goff was a quarter away from making the Super Bowl last year with the almost the equivalent defense to what we have now. They can do it again. They're capable. They have the offense. It's an offensive-driven league. If the offense comes out to play, they can score on every single time they touch the ball.
That's a fact.
And if you do that, it's hard to beat you. And now that's going to be the expectation. The Lions are going to have to go out there. They're going to have to put belts to ass, and offense is going to have to dominate.
Bro, just I hear you trying to stay contained. Just go all the way.
I'm trying.
You turned up. I hear you trying to stay contained because it sounds crazy. They've lost too much, but they lost too much like 8 weeks ago. Aiden Hutchinson was too much. He was the best player in football, man. At least defensively.
Yeah.
At least defensively. That's what I'm saying. Like, they already lost too much. Davenport was supposed to help. They lost too much already. That's what I'm saying. How many players?
Real, bro.
That's what I'm saying. They already have done this. We're not talking about, oh my gosh, they just lost, Aleem and Dave. Bro, they've already shown that they can overcome. And you know what? Brendan Harris said, y'all on dispo if your expectations haven't wavered with all the injuries. And it's like, you know what? No, my expectations can't, because there's other components to this thing that we talked about before that we said matter to who this team is. And for whatever reason, the people who walked through that door, they still found a way to overcome. They're 12-2. Even when it's looked bad, they've still found ways to overcome and win. Mm-hmm. Why? Because Jared Goff was like, hey, and we get it. Josh Allen, we already knew coming into the game. We had Josh Allen as a person who was probably going to win the MVP.
Yep.
But those other quarterbacks, I told y'all, and people's like, come on, man, Jordan Love he's a good quarterback. Man, piss on that, bro. I'm sorry. Every time Jared Goff lines up against Jordan Love, I expect him to dominate him, to win. That's just what I expect. That's what I expect. All these other quarterbacks in this division, Sam Darnold, I'm sorry. I just expect Jared Goff to go out there and win. The expectations that I have for the Minnesota Vikings and the team that they have, and I get it, there's a little bit of talent over there, but you add Sam Darnold to that mix and they make the playoffs, and I believe that. I believe that from the beginning of the season. Yeah. You have to understand how much more I believe that Jared Goff can take this current Lions team and win the rest of these games. I do. I just believe that. Like, what is Jahmyr Gibbs? You telling me that all the rest of these teams are putting Jahmyr Gibbs in a bag? You telling me the rest of these remaining teams are putting Amon-Ra St. Brown in a bag? You're telling me the rest of these teams, they're gonna solve now all of a sudden Ben Johnson and Jared Goff? All of a sudden Penei Sewell he doesn't matter? This offense still got dogs and horses. And I'm sorry, but Jared Goff is going to be better than 1, 2, 3, every quarterback the rest of the way here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so, no, I don't know, man. Like, until you bury the Detroit Lions, until they're buried, until the wheels can no longer spin, I'm going to continue to believe in what they've done. They've continued to overcome. They still have not lost back-to-back games in 2 seasons. I think we have to go back even farther than that, because the season where they went, 8-1 in the second half of the season, I believe?
Yeah,
they didn't lose
8-2.
any?
Yep.
8-2? I don't believe they lost any back-to-back games then either.
No, it's been 2 years and some change. I won't say 2.5, but it's been about 2 years and some change since they lost back-to-back games. And this is what we are dealing with, man.
I
This
learned
is
my
the
lesson
type of
with Michigan and Ohio State.
Yeah, no, for real. But this is the type of franchise that you have now, Detroit Lions fans. So you should be happy about that. The fact that we have been able to overcome everything that's been thrown at us, bro. And it seems like it's been a lot, bro. It really has. Like, we all knew this journey was not going to be easy, but the fact that you've survived so many injuries up until this point is absolutely amazing. And you sit here 12-2, still arguably the best team in the NFL, not just the NFC, the NFL. So, like you said, and if the Houston Texans game didn't teach you anything, this Lions team has to be down and out for the 10 count. Otherwise, they are still capable of doing whatever the hell they want to do.
Skydog 722. Kool-Aid, the replacement players suck. Y'all said that last year with Vildor and Jerry Jacobs. That's what I'm talking about. I was told we were going to lose to the Vikings in that last game because who was out there.
Right.
That's what I was told. I remember that. I remember going into the playoffs. We can't hold Stafford. I don't know. I'm just like, and that's why I'm just like, guys, come on. We've been here. Y'all said this stuff last year. We've been here. That's why I'm like, until a team has solved it, I can't call it yet. I'm not doing that for mine.
And if we're going to praise them at certain points in the season when they have good games, like Pat O'Connor, we were singing his praises. Caden Muhammad, we were singing his praises. All these people that have come off the street and helped this team, if we're going to sing their praises and wins, we got to stand behind them when the shit is looking bleak. So it is what it is. They have to step up. It doesn't matter your talent level at this point. You are in the same boat as 7 other teams in this conference. You have to find a way to win, point blank, period. It don't matter who the hell you sticking out there. They can stick me out there, man. They have to find a way to win. We are in too deep.
We are in too deep, and we're going to continue to have to find ways. And there's players that are going to come back. Like, we're still going to look at Anzalone coming back towards the end of the year. Carlton Davis, it will be back hopefully by the NFC Championship game.
If he coming back.
There is lots of players that are going to come back, help this team. For me, the biggest one's Anzalone. I think that the Bills exposed the fact that Jack Campbell is not the greatest edge linebacker when it goes to moving from side to side and covering those outside contained runs that James Cook was eating us on. That's Anzalone's job, and that's where this defense is missing Anzalone with the speed going from edge to edge. And I think with him there, I think that's a completely different game. I don't think they're able to run that college concept, 2 running backs, outside run game.
And just dump it in the middle right over the freaking linebacker's head.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't think you get that with Anzalone. I think with Anzalone out there, you let Jack Campbell not be the green dot and let Anzalone take over and be responsible for the middle of the field. And you could tell like Dalton Kincaid was eating and all game because of the fact that Jack Campbell just could not play him in coverage.
No, absolutely. I love that point, Justin. That is a great point. But at the same time, Jack Campbell, for the most part, has been great, stepping in for Anzo. No, and I know you wasn't dissing him. I'm just trying to make a point that, the good thing about Anzo going down is that you've made Jack Campbell that much better. It's like he's been sharpened now because the past 3 weeks before this Bills game, he's absolutely come out there and been one of the best linebackers in football. And you can check PFF numbers that back that. You can check stats. He's been out there, man. He's been out there. So the fact that you now have an even stronger Jack Campbell with an Anzalone coming back, that only bodes well for the Lions defense. So, no, I absolutely agree.
And before we get into the next segment, I want to just say what up, though, to the chat. Hey, holla at Dre. Vildor's trash, though. The ball bounced off his head in the 49ers game. What game was that? Where were they at?
San Francisco.
And he was playing in games starting, I think, 2, 3, 4 games to go in the regular season. So they went like a whole 6 or 7 games with Kendall Vildor playing solid minutes as a starter, and they got all the way to the NFC Championship game.
And guess what? Kendall Vildor has played a lot this season. And guess what our record is?
12-2?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's like, come on, bro. I do understand, but we talking about last year, dog. This is this year, and you really have a chance to right your wrongs if you're Kendall Vildor. So that's why, and I've been guilty of it. I've been guilty of ragging on the guy because he is the face of, one of the most infamous collapses in Detroit Lions history. It just is what it is. But at the same time, he has a chance to rewrite that. So you just got to put your faith in the fact that AG can scheme him up, put him in the right positions on the field, and hopefully he can go out there and execute. But that's the waters that we in now. We can't criticize what the hell we got because that's all we got at this point. So it is what it is. We got to live and die on whether he's going to go out there and perform.
And we've seen this team do this before. And that's why I just caution people who want to say, oh, it's just completely over, to just say, let's just see what this team does. I believe that it's going to be a fun ride if you just strap in and just let the roller coaster take you where it takes you. The people who approach that thing scared, what does Jim Harbaugh call them? Nervous birds, man. It's like, nah, that's not us. That has not been us. Everybody gets pumped up and buys all the gear and talks about Dan Campbell's speech. And now when it's a time to actually prove that matters, well, where are we at now? Dan Campbell said that the type of squad that they were going to have was going to be a team that was going to be able to overcome all of these types of obstacles. Absolutely. And he said it even this morning. Shout out to Not a Poker Pro. The Chicken Little fans should listen to Campbell's interview this morning on the flagship radio station, the Lions flagship radio station. The injured players got us to this point, is what Campbell said, and not letting their efforts go to waste is this team's motivation.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe Dan Campbell's lying? I don't believe he's lying. Up to this point, we said he's that man, he's that deal.
He ain't never lied.
Hey, and when they told us last year, no, we got enough to get to where we want to get to, and it was exceeded all of our expectations. Did the Lions not exceed a lot of people's expectations last year?
They did.
Did a lot of people last year say we didn't do enough to bolster at the trade deadline?
They did.
That's what I'm saying. So now until we're proven right, which as fans and as people up here on the desk and as chat family, we haven't been. The Lions have proven us wrong a lot more. I'm not right now. I want to be on the better side of that.
Yeah.
So, hey, you know what friends? We got to say hello to JB Smooth.
Woodward in Maine and the pregame show.
Hey.
All right, Woodward in Maine
KG
and
special.
the pregame show. You said what?
The KG special.
The KG special, man. Hey, listen, every day, every Lions game, man, we are providing the best Lions coverage in the state, in the city, in the whole goddamn world, if you ask me, man. It's Woodward in Maine. Start your day with Terry Foster, Detroit legend, and start your day with rising star Matthew Broder, formerly of the WUW Crew. Broder, we love you. And listen, man, they gonna give you all the inside information that you need to start getting ready for your Lions game day, because they are going to bounce back and they are going to whoop the Chicago Bears this week. You can book it. You can book it, man. But then after that, you know you got to tune in for the New Holland Brewing Company Lions pregame show with my man Neil Rule of Big D Energy, and of course the great Sean Belegian, man. And they gonna come in here and they gonna tell you what it is. You know, they gonna give you X's and O's, but they also gonna give you they also are going to give you the macro level of what the hell this thing is.
Pistons
and this is a team this is a team that's still in a playoff push, baby. But make sure y'all tuned in. They are live from Second Best Bar in Detroit, man. 12 to noon right here on Detroit's #1 sports network. That is Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports.
KDK Law, divorce, child custody. Listen, pretty much anything that you need. Also visitation, family law, whatever you need. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law, they got you back. Because let's just be realistic, man. It's hard out here, bro. It really is. Maybe your girlfriend is cutting up at your Heisman celebration. It may not work out, dog. It may not work out. So you might need KDK. Listen, put this number in your phone right now, 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and the KDK will pay that filing fee, man. That's a Kool-Aid classic in there too, by the way. But KDK Law, listen, 24/7 availability, 10 plus years of experience, and they got you back.
Shout out Travis Hunter. Get that pre-note, bro.
Hey, man.
Get it.
Just saying.
Goodness gracious.
Never know when you'll need it.
Yeah, I saw she did a whole 8-minute kind of manifesto, letting people know like, you guys are hurting my feelings.
Welcome to the real world, bro. you might want to chill out before you mess up the bag. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
Exactly.
You might want to chill out before you mess up that bag.
Oh goodness. Do we have to hear from our friends? We'll hear from our friends at Lady Jane's at the end of this segment. But
Yep.
But definitely, man. You know what? I want to get back into the Detroit Lions conversation and Woodward Sports MVP It's a Tuesday, and it's a victory show as well because the Detroit Pistons, they did beat the Miami Heat. They're
That's a
back
fact.
in play-in and postseason positioning. But JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP, in the booth. What up, though, brother, man? How you feeling this morning? You've been the voice of reason at this network for years now, man, not just the MVP. And right now they're going through some adversity. Level this thing for us. David Montgomery, Lee McNeil, Carlton Davis are the latest to be added to the season-ending list for the Detroit Lions, and now they have to go to whatever this deep well is that Ben Johnson was talking about.
Look, I'm going to be as calm as I can about this. This team has come too far to just sit here and roll over and die and give up for the rest of this season and the rest of this playoff. They have come too far. I'm saying this right now. It's fine if you want to waver just a little bit, just looking at the depth chart and seeing all the injuries, that's fine. But don't give up on this team because they need every single voice in Ford Field right now to help rally this team through every single play out there. They need the love. They need that support right now. Dan Campbell's not giving up on this team. Brad Holmes not giving up on this team. So why should you? You should never.
Whoa, that is a wild drop.
I'm sorry.
That was wild, but still, it counts as well too. Don't ever count out this team. Don't ever give up on this team right now. When one of your fellow teammates goes down, guess what? The rest of the team lifts you up. They lift your spirits, and you continue on, moving on more and more. And that's exactly what this team is going to do as well. They're going to lean on a lot more players, a little bit more. But you know what? I do think that they are up for this task. So whatever you do, your faith might, weary just a little bit. But still, don't ever give up on this team. Believe.
Yeah, definitely, man. So well stated. Because this squad, it's been a part of their DNA to this point as well. I believe that they are a little bit ahead of schedule. I believe that they arrived before people were ready for them to arrive.
That's a fact.
A lot of people wanted them dead from the start. They defeated Dan Campbell from the start, and he won that. What were the odds? There were people here in Detroit saying, oh, fire him from the get-go. This guy's a clown. What's going on here? And so this team, as we like the reference, the Bane reference, the Batman, they were born in this.
Yeah.
This is literally what they were made for, this type of adversity. And I don't see any wavering. I don't see any nervousness from the coaches. It's not like we're sitting here talking about a team that got their teeth kicked in by the Bills. This was a team that in the first quarter, the Bills had a great game plan. And we've talked about how other teams have had that too. I believe that if that one fumble doesn't happen, the Detroit Lions have a great opportunity to win that game. And why?
Yeah.
Because who was stopping that offense? I'm sorry. People keep saying, oh, David Montgomery, we cooked. David Montgomery had 5 carries for 4 yards.
Yeah.
Why wasn't the offense cooked? And they couldn't even game plan. They didn't even get the opportunity to say, okay, how are we going to game plan to not have a David Montgomery? Because he still went in, I think, later in the second half and tried to do a run or two. So it's not still to that point. It was just, Jameer, what can you get us? And it's not even like you're asking the backup. You're asking a guy who we've all season said, this guy could be the one. And a lot of people believed that this year he was starting to really take that title from David Montgomery.
That's all I heard.
So then we're talking about that this offense is still lining up as ones.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So if this offense is still lining up as ones, what are people doubting exactly? That the defense is so banged up that you believe that the Chicago Bears are going to put up 40 points?
No. I don't think anybody's scared of the Bears. Let's just they are a non-factor in this.
You look across the spectrum, and I'm seeing some people who were once stoked being even now more fearful of who the Bears are. And I'm like, what are we doing
I feel
now?
you. But like I told you before, I'm not here to police fandom at this point. If you don't believe what your eyes have told you, then you need to get some new eyes. Like, just straight up. Like, the Lions have went out here and proved it every single time they have stepped up to the plate. And if anybody was due for a dud, it was the Detroit Lions. So what you did is you ran into probably the best team in the AFC, and they came in here and they charged you up. And I feel like in a lot of ways this can help this team going forward, because this is the type of adversity you're going to see during a playoff stretch. Like I referenced before, it's not getting any easier. And even with the Bears, I'm very confident they are going to whoop the Bears, but they are going to give you their best shot. They want to see you fall off the cliff. And you already know how it went down on Thanksgiving, so they feel like, they could have beat us as well. So you have to expect every team's best shot at this point. There is no letting up. There is no, resting on your laurels or just trying to survive. You have to be the aggressor. You got to go out there and take what you want, take what's yours. And that's the only way the Lions are going to be able to survive shit like this.
You scared of this man?
But isn't that how they got here? Where's Aaron Rodgers? When people weren't expecting us to beat the Green Bay Packers, right? What was Dan Campbell doing? Beating them in the last 8 games. Does anybody know what the record is against the Green Bay Packers? 7-1.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. So some of those games came when they weren't supposed to be beating the Green Bay Packers. You just said that the Lions have to go and take what they want. That's what they've been doing. That's what their number one wide receiver continues to get hated on, whether it's the draft process, whether it's he gets his bag because he proved he's worth it. People still want to talk. And that's what I'm saying. This squad has continued to be the one that just goes out there and take it. We've seen teams go out there with just a quarterback and one wide receiver and a half a defense and make runs. Mm-hmm. And now we're sitting here with a whole lot more talent than that. And what are we doing right now? You got fans that are tight now, man. Tight. They can't even sit down. It's so tight. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, what are we doing? Like, y'all chill and just at least watch the team. See for a game.
Right.
Just see what they do, because whenever they haven't had the answers. That's what I'm saying.
There's
we go back and we talk about the last 2 seasons. You go back before when they finished 9-8 and they went on a what was the last run? 8-2?
Yep.
Come on, man. This team has been doing this for a long time. They've been going and taking what they want for a while. Weren't we just talking about this? That's why the whole league is, oh my gosh, they're hitting us too hard. Everyone's complaining about the Lions. Mm-hmm. No, they're still that team because Dan Campbell has set that in these players. And nobody who steps out on that field, they're not stepping out that field without that in mind. The talent might be varying, but in sports, you do have the ability to play above your talent variant. Your coaches have something to do with that. Your internal motivation has something to do with that. And as my college coach used to say, if your heart is pumping blood and not milk. So far, these dudes got blood in their heart.
And that's what it is, bro. You have to go out there.
Not vegan milk.
And the only person that's not injured at this point is the coaching staff. I mean, you got to rely on your coaches to go out there and try to make things happen. And this is why I said you need to get aggressive. You need to go out there and be even more aggressive than maybe you were before. Not saying that Dan Campbell should go out there and just, go crazy in terms of 4th downs. Of course, it depends on game situation, but I'm glad we have a coach that coaches to win. So, a lot has been made about his decisions. Oh, why would you go for the onside kick here? Why would you do the 4th down here? He has built this team to be able to pretty much go out there and do what you said. Be aggressive. Be the one that dictates. Like, don't let other teams control what we want to do. So I love the fact that Dan Campbell has been aggressive to this point and has every decision worked? Absolutely not. Is every decision going to work? It won't. But more times than not, he comes out on the other side of it because he's prepped this team to be ready in situations like that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, JP is right. He said Kool-Aid, the Lions' record against the Packers is 6-2 under Dan Campbell. Get your stats correct.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry. Game.
My fault.
One
My
game.
fault. 6-2 under Dan Campbell. They still won some of those when they weren't supposed to. That's just the fact of the matter. And the one that they did lose, one of those ones, the more recent one, it was decimated with injuries, short week, and honestly, the Packers came in with a good game plan, and Jared Goff didn't play the cleanest game.
Yeah,
it was a recipe for disaster, and they're still 6-2 in their last 8 games against the Packers. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this team was going and getting it when they weren't supposed to go and get it. And I've seen this throughout the chat as well, that at this point wins don't matter since they're locked into a playoff spot. Just get healthy. Is it, and I want to tee this question up, is it thinking about health if you play for the number 1 seed, or do you just play to kind of just have your guys go through some basic reps, not overextend them for the sake of trying not to get injured?
No.
Which
once again, we are in too deep at this point. And what the number 1 seed can do for you throughout the playoffs, because what I continuously hear on this network from people outside of the network is that you do not want to go to Philadelphia in January. And if that's the case, the Lions got to handle business these last 3 games. If you're that scared of going on the road and this team trying to win in the playoffs, on the road, then they got to go out there and handle business. No, you are not in a position to be able to just, we need to try and rest some guys. Like, unfortunately, the situation is the situation. You got to go out there and try to secure that week bye, because you're going to need that. You're going to need as much time as you can to get guys fully healthy for this playoff push. And, you need every game in Ford Field at this point. So if the Lions can get their playoff games in Ford Field, then I feel even more confident that they can get to the Super Bowl. But, yeah, you got to go for it, man. Like, you are only 3 wins away from making it happen. You got to go for it.
Yeah, and I do want to know, I want to ask people, because I know David Montgomery is injured. What is your confidence level in this offense that they can carry this team? They still have a lot of elite talent on that side of the ball, and that's where my mind goes. I'm going to get on the other side of the of talking to our friends at Lady Jane's to be able to talk about it, because I just want to see exactly where people are exactly scared with this team. You know, as we look at the remaining games on the schedule, what do people believe that the Lions are capable of doing? I don't believe that their defense is Chicago Bears, San Francisco 49ers, and Minnesota Vikings putting up 40 points on us bad. I just don't believe that. That's just me personally. I don't believe that Aaron Glenn is that bad. I believe with time and with the ability to have them make some corresponding, whatever they have to for their depth, I believe that they have enough here. Weren't we just talking about how good of a safety tandem Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph were?
We were.
Aren't we talking about how great of a season, or at least good of a season, Jack Campbell is having already?
That's what I've been hearing.
Zadarius Smith, he's been pretty good since putting on that Detroit Lions uniform. I'm going to give these guys some opportunities to figure some things out. We bump our guns about Terrell Williams and these guys, but we're going to get into the next segment. Focus a little bit more on that offense and what they can do to try and pick up this team. But walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. It's open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. You deserve this. There's a lot of stress on Lions fans right now. And all of that, I'm telling you, can help go a long way as we get prepared for this Bears game this week. And you know what? You get to do it by taking advantage of our $20 haircut special. If you just scan the QR code somewhere on the screen, you'll probably find it before I do. When you do, you too will get that coupon special. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Yes, when you give to the Salvation Army, your donation makes it possible to serve our community's most vulnerable. 24 hours a day, 365. The Salvation Army Metro Detroit's 2024 Red Kettle Christmas campaign is going on right now, and even though the goal is high, anything that you can give always helps and it always matters. Your contributions will help provide love beyond Christmas to individuals in need of food, shelter, and just compassion. Scan the QR code on screen or go to donate.sagreatlakes.org so you can donate today.
Hey, what up, though, people? When we are back, it is Wake Up Woodward. This is one of my favorite beats. The sample is not saying what I freaked it to say. It sounds like it's saying all my dreams.
Really?
Yeah, and so it's so appropriate that Chase queued this one up, Cavassier Chase, as we are still talking about the Detroit Lions' dreams of a Super Bowl this year and what they can do to overcome. And this is where I do believe when we focus in on this offense, you got Mr. MVP candidate himself, Jared Goff. Obviously, he's some people have him still as high as 2 or 3. Some people have him in the top 5, probably at number 5, 4 or 5. But wherever you have him, he's still in that conversation. Is because of the stellar play he's done. Yeah. And we saw how he was able in that offense to keep the Detroit Lions in that game with the Buffalo Bills after they got a little bit figured out, after they got things figured out in the first quarter, after the first quarter. And that's where, when I'm looking at this squad, they drafted one player in particular with the intentions of this person being a stud, a flat-out star, and they actually called him a weapon. And that's where Jared Goff, I believe he's going to show up and do business. He's going to do work every single time. It's just what he is, man. It's like clockwork. But this is where I do believe that this one player, Jahmyr Gibbs, Weapon X, the first Lions skill player to 1,000 scrimmage yards this season. That was him. The first player to 1,000 rushing yards this season. That was him. Fourth on the team in receiving yards. That was him.
Yeah.
And that's why I do believe that as you're talking about what this team can be, I do believe that Ben Johnson, who has proven he can really scheme up anything, that's where you have to scheme it up. Weapon X, Jahmyr Gibbs, being that guy that can go out there and get you 100-plus scrimmage yards and be one of those weapons out of the backfield. Whether he's lined up behind you and catching the ball out of the backfield, whether you're sending him out in motion, I believe that Jahmyr Gibbs unlocks so much more for this Detroit Lions offense, in which now you have to kind of put the ball in their hands and tell them, guys, you got to go, you got to break the speed limit right now.
No,
that's why I do believe that Jahmyr Gibbs can be that kind of player that helps to change the tide and help this team overcome yet again, even though they're decimated defensively.
No, he definitely has to step up, and we all know that. And this is a player that we all thought was beginning to take that next step. You know how much I defend Monty, but even I was starting to say it looks like Jahmyr Gibbs is starting to hit that next level. And this is somebody that he's gonna have his workload increase. We just got to be real about it. This is something that normally you see Monty go out there, he'll get, between 15 and 20 carries, and Gibbs a follow, with 10 to 14. But now his workload is going to increase tenfold, not just out of the backfield, but of course, like I said, running between the tackles and being able to get to that second level and utilize what we know he uses best, and that's his speed. So he absolutely has to step up, and I love your pick there of Jahmyr Gibbs because he's dual threat. We know that, and with somebody like say Onivaki who can also be a dual threat behind him, I feel like that frees him up to do more things on the field. But it's all going to be up to Ben Johnson being able to scheme it up.
Talk to me about Vaki as well. Obviously, that's one of the places that they can go. Because the running back room before the season started, we said it was strong, very, very top heavy, but we did pay some attention as well to the running backs behind the two-headed monster of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, and for good reason. Because last year we saw Craig Reynolds step up and play. He made some important plays multiple times last season. Everybody talks about the block, but remember that goal line touchdown run he had when he wasn't even supposed to be in the game.
Yeah.
But you when you talk about him being able to do some of the same things that David Montgomery can do, not at the same level, but we've seen that they utilize him in that same type of a way, and he's had some success for the Detroit Lions, mild success. But when they put him in the game, he's done what they needed him to do. Yeah,
he's going to have to be that bruiser in terms of red zone. So, you're going to have Gibbs, getting down the field on most drives. But when it comes to, getting to the goal line and in the red zone, that's where Craig Reynolds is going to come in. He's going to have to be that battering ram that, David Montgomery used to be, because every time Monty gets near the goal line, we damn near guarantee a touchdown. It's like death and taxes at this point.
But I feel like we've seen Jahmyr Gibbs do that a lot more this year than I'm used to. I don't know. I haven't looked at the stats and the numbers, but seeing him run between the tackles, seeing him in the red zone, being able to get those red zone runs, not just, the ones where he's walking it in from 8, but even when they're up on the goal line, there's a couple times I'm like, man, shouldn't this be David Montgomery? But instead you see Jahmyr Gibbs going out there and proving, I can handle the workload of being, the number one running back.
And this is where Ben Johnson gets to get more creative, because you're absolutely right. Gibbs is somebody that you can absolutely use in the red zone, but I would like to free him up for more passes in the red zone and have Craig Reynolds just be that battering ram in the middle running between the tackles, man. So, because we all know when Gibbs gets to the outside, it's over. And a lot of the goal line touchdowns that we've seen from Gibbs is him just using his speed and outrunning whoever the hell is on that edge. So if you can do that, maybe utilize him in that way. But I would much rather see him catch passes out of the backfield in the red zone and just have Craig Reynolds be that guy to push the pile and get inside and score those touchdowns inside.
Hey, you know what, man? Hey, that dude Justin has been just rearing up, because we've been talking about what this team can do to overcome it. I want to focus on the defense after we get done with this discourse, but offensively we're talking about players on the roster that we believe are going to and need to step up. And after that dude Justin talks, have your Sione Vaki take lined up because people they want to know about Sione Vaki. Man.
Yeah,
I see it in the chat.
I must have forgot.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But that dude, Justin, any players on this roster that you believe, you know what, offensively right now, will be able to step up and make that difference, especially with time to scheme this thing out, as well as where do they go? Where are they going to go and get some reinforcements?
I don't know if they're going to get any reinforcements, honestly. I think that they're just going to lean on what they already have, and I expect it to be more of a speed and space type of offense and to use the offensive line to create that space, and then you're going to see the JMOs get a lot more underneath routes using his speed. You're going to see Amon-Ra. I also expect LaPorta to start getting more touches as well.
Absolutely.
As, we start losing offensive weapons. But what I really want to see is Jahmyr Gibbs. Like KG said, I want to see more angle routes out of the backfield. I want to see more swing passes with fakes to Vaki. I want to see 2 running back sets. I want to see some interesting things that you can do when you have all these pieces and you can play them in all different locations, and you really can just turn a defense's brain inside out because they don't have the speed to stop you. They don't have the players to stop you technically, as Amon-Ra and Sam LaPorta are 2 of the most technical players at their own positions. I think there's just so much nuance to this offense still to be unlocked, and now with no Monty, who is the identity of this offense. Let's be real here. The way that he runs, the way that he makes sure he gets those extra yards, that is the influence in the key to our offense. Without him, it's going to change a little bit. You're going to see an identity change, and I really can't wait to see the speed that this team comes out with when they come back against the Bears this Sunday.
No, absolutely.
Preaching, brother.
Absolutely. And no, you can go ahead.
No, I was just saying he's preaching. I love it because that's exactly where my mind went. And it's been interesting to see as those running backs have caught the ball out of the backfield more and more, because we even remarked how there's things that the Lions are doing differently this year that helps, in my opinion, their offense go to another level. One of those things is Jared Goff becoming more and more of a threat to take off and run for the first down in sight. And I think we may see, I don't want to see that as much, especially with players dropping as flies, but it has been a little wrinkle that has helped this team. We even saw it in the Bills game. But the other thing, these running backs catching the ball out of the backfield has been brilliant, because when you do the play action now, you're seeing not safeties, but you're seeing the linebackers that have to still spy on those running backs because they know they're a legitimate threat. They're a legitimate threat. There was one play where they play action to David Montgomery. He picked up the block, and this is where we're going to miss him, man. Picked up the block, allowed just a little bit more time for Jared Goff to get to his spot, and then he rolled out and then still caught the pass. And it was brilliant. And that's where, to Justin's point, to yours, and to where we started with who I call Weapon X, because they called him a weapon. When they drafted him, that's where I want to see them kind of take that and really take full advantage of all of these players you have, especially like a guy like J-Mo.
No, absolutely.
Speed and space.
And
I like it.
Somebody that we talking about can be used as a weapon, I think that's also Sione Vaki. Sione Vaki is somebody that,
Talk to me.
Craig Reynolds is your battering ram. He's going to give you a lot of what Monty gives you. But now you have a back in Vaki that can give you a lot of what Gibbs does for you as well. So I think that, and then J. Cruz in 71 in the chat, Vaki equals versatile. And that's the key component here. You now have 2 backs that can catch out of the backfield. What are we missing? What is one thing that we were raving about David Montgomery these last few games? His ability to catch balls out of the backfield. He's been doing great at it this year. And it's added another element to this offense and providing defenses trouble because they don't know who to stop. You can screen past to Gibbs or you can screen past to Monty. And I think it's the same situation with Sione Vaki. This is somebody that we praised in the preseason because he went out there, he made flashes at times when he
played
gets
mean.
Exactly. When he gets the ball in space, he can make a move on the defender, but he's also somebody that's not going to shy away from contact either. And it's somebody that, I feel is even better at catching the ball out of the backfield than a David Montgomery. David Montgomery kind of added it to his game. Sione Vaki already had it. So now that you got a guy like him and Gibbs, they're interchangeable. So you can free up Gibbs to do more things in the passing game and know that, okay, I can hand it to Vaki on a pitch or on a screen and know that he can pick up a few yards as well. And if he gets space, he can hurt you. Yep. So I'm very excited as to what he can bring to the table, and Ben Johnson being able to scheme those guys up.
And guys, understand, nobody believes, because I see people in here that believe that Vaki's that could be the savior. People are kind of
not saying he is.
Not saying that he is.
It's a team effort, though.
You guys have to understand something. The Lions have had the luxury of not having either one of the starting running backs who could be number one bell cows have to be bell cows. They've been splitting that. That's what I'm saying. They've been sitting on their how are we going to overcome? They've been sitting on that all season by doing things like this. How many mouths do they have to feed on offense? A lot. So guys like Sam Laporta have not been getting beat up. You guys remember, he did get a little banged up at the end of last season.
Mm-hmm.
How about, Sam Laporta, we don't even have to feed you like that this year, and we'll just toss you the ball around the touchdown because you're just going to catch it and not really get hit. They've been able to keep their team fresh. Now you're in a situation where it's not about if Vaki can come in and do what, or Craig Reynolds can do what David Montgomery did with the touches he did. No, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get some of those touches. If David Montgomery was getting 15 touches a game, Jahmyr Gibbs should get more than half of those. And then you want Sione Vaki and Craig Reynolds in their time. If it's Craig Reynolds, give me the 3 to 5 yards. That's it.
Yeah,
3 to 5 times a game. That is it. But if it's Sione Vaki, I need you to make a man miss 1 or 2 times off the play action. It's just because if Sione Vaki's in, he's going to, because he's a bulldog. He's one of those guys that you play action, he picks up the block, and I need you to just, if I pass it to you, if you are the check down, or if we just so happen to scheme up to catch the defense slipping, you got to make the first man miss. That's what you need out of these guys. That's what Jahmyr Gibbs does so well.
But the beauty is, if he can make a man or two miss, this is somebody that can absolutely get down the field in terms of yak yardage.
His speed is crazy.
So I'm telling you, this is somebody they sorry about that. This is somebody they identified when they brought him in. He came in as a safety, and they converted him to a running back because they saw the highlight tape of him, coming from, I believe, Utah, and they saw like, oh yeah, this guy is electric when he gets in space. Mm-hmm. One thing we raved about is his ability to play special teams, being able to return kicks and things of that nature. So I think Vaki is a perfect complement to what, Ben Johnson can be able to scheme up.
Yeah, exactly. And there's just a couple more here before we get into focusing on what the defense is going to do or could do or what we want to see them do to try and overcome. And it's Jay Cruzen. That's why they're called backups. I don't think Lions are better. I think of it as insurance. I think that's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
I do wonder sometimes, is more Jahmyr Gibbs, is that better for the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
As they've increased that, it's looked really good for them, man. Let me see here. Jay Cruz and Vaki was throwing spirals also in practice. Listen, Ben Johnson's going to make sure everybody on that squad can catch and throw. We've seen Sue, throw and catch now? We've seen Dan Skipper just catch a touchdown. So it's like, and I'm not going to take any of that away from the team. I don't look at it as just like, issues and giggles and tricks and we're trying to rub it in people's faces. Yeah. I think that sometimes when you're talking about how do we overcome this stuff, the Lions have a very deep well. This is why I'm just like, bro, we just saw Dan Skipper catch a touchdown. We lost by 6 points in a game in which if Amon-Ra doesn't fumble or if they get that, I'm just keep it there. If Amon-Ra don't fumble, because the onside kick is one that's more of chance. I believe in more or less what Amon-Ra is going to do more times than not, man. So they had they had a chance to still pull that victory out, man.
No,
and
they did.
There was one more here from Michael Danye, and I'll throw it to you before we get into the next segment. He says, look, our offense got us there last year. We had no defense, and our offense is much better this year. Adding Zeitler to the line, this offense got us to the NFC Championship and could have won. We are good.
I think we
what
are.
Up, though, brothers?
And, speaking of that, when we come back from the break, I know we need to get into the defensive side and what they need to do specifically with that, but we forgetting somebody on offense, man, that need to step up.
I think I know, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear.
Hit me.
It's pretty clear.
Hey, you know what? let's say what up, though, to some friends. Mr. J.B. Smooth.
Yes.
Where we at?
I got to tell you about jars.
Hey, tell me about jars.
All right, Woodward sports fans, whether you're hitting the game or just chilling, Jars Cannabis has you covered. That's my shit too, actually. Jars is home to Michigan's largest lineup of recreational cannabis products. They've got 27 locations across the state. They are repping Michigan in the biggest way possible. 9 locations right now in Metro Detroit, so there's always one close nearby you as well too. And don't fear, because if you're in Grand Rapids, Madison Heights, or Milan, Michigan, get ready because stores are coming very, very soon. It's Jars Cannabis. Get hooked up today.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
I got you.
Hey, fuel your Lions fandom with the perfect cup and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or saving a quiet morning with Wake Up Woodward and Woodward Sports, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted specialty coffee delivered right to your door. Head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com and make sure you're using code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awaken and wine, support local, enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters. And you know what? Sabbath Coffee Roasters is also one of the sponsors for the New Holland Brewing Company watch party and the post-game show. We get things kicked off with the heavyweights. You know what? Everything, man. The good, the bad, the ugly. But we in the trenches, 10 toes, in the dirt for these Detroit Lions, man, as a crew. Out there, Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and it's a good time every single time. Good food, good drinks. And you know what, man? We're going to continue to cheer on these brand new Lions who continue to overcome. All this is available on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. And right after the watch party, we get the post-game show hosted by Stick and Anson. You get a great breakdown of the game and a little bit extra, man.
Right. Maybe a fight.
Maybe a fight. It's the show you want to see. You never know what you're going to get, but I'm telling you, man, it is definitely popcorn entertainment, man. With the post-game show, they break it down and we give you guys the opportunity to call in, or if you're in the building, give you the mic and we put you on camera so you can have your say so as well. Again, all this is available on Detroit's #1 draft pick. Number one
That's me.
Sports show.
Come on now.
Sports network, Woodward Sports. All this brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Tall your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, and Sabbath Coffee. We are back, and you know what? Before we jump into the defense, hey, what up, though, chat family? Continue to smash that like button, man.
Please,
Y'all
man.
are
We working
crushing
hard
this
up
morning.
here, man.
Hey, definitely.
Got the late call last night, man. Did not know I was going to be on the desk today. So.
Shout out to our brother Flannel Sam. Brother, we can't wait to have you back.
Yes, sir.
And we
Get
still
well.
got
Get
the
well.
rest of the crew in the building. And before we just talk about the defense real quick, you said there's one other person that we've been forgetting on offense.
Yeah, but a lot of people view him as a civilian, so I don't know how much he can actually do.
Talk to me,
but I think it's pretty obvious who this needs to fall on at this point. And we talk about specifics with the offense and what they need to do. This needs to be the Jared Goff show going forward.
Yeah.
And listen, this is why you paid this man. This is why he was one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league. Jared Goff has to absolutely elevate his level of play. And to be real, he's done that this season. What he does in terms of his pocket presence, how he's been able to handle pressure, how he's been able to deliver passes, and at times when we've had to rely on his arm, he's went out there and done that. So I feel like Jared Goff, he has to take this thing to another level, man. And this is the boat that we're in at this point. If he goes down, then this thing is over. And I told you earlier in the show, that's really the only way I'll completely lose faith in at this point. He has to go out there and either fall off a cliff, or he has to go out there and get hurt.
Who are you talking about again?
Jared Goff.
Who?
Jared Goff.
Who?
Jared Goff.
You said it 3 times, and look who's walking through the door.
Jared Goff.
Look who's walking through the door.
My God.
Look who's walking through the door.
Hey.
Look who's walking through the door. He said Jared Goff's name.
It works.
Look, we came back from break. It wasn't even planned, and now we got Stick in the building.
Yeah.
We talk about how the Lions can overcome, and it's as if, MVP.
Shall overcome.
Oh, God.
MVP
The
candidate candidates
gospel.
don't
That's
matter.
how we overcome the gospel. Have faith, my people.
Thank you.
Have faith. This is
Have
about
faith.
believing when times are tough. When you gotta walk through the desert for 40 days.
Talk to him.
You gotta believe in
Believe.
the gospel. We shall overcome, my children. We shall overcome.
Let's rock, man. Detroit Lions. And
Black
you know
people
what?
still trying to overcome.
Jared Goff ain't black. Jared Goff white, right?
No, exactly.
We good.
Oh man, but no, but the point I was making is that, like, Sticks so elegantly stated, Jared Goff has to be your MVP. And listen, we talk about Jared Goff being the MVP in terms of the NFL, but we don't need him for that. We need him to be the MVP of the Lions right now. So I feel like the Lions, if they go out there and air the ball out more, because you need to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, seeing that Monty is down, you still have Gibbs, you still have J-Mo, you still have number 14 back there, Amon-Ra St. Brown. These are your best players on offense. And even if you want to throw Sam Laporta in there, you can do that too. But it's going to be on the offensive line to continue to protect Jared Goff, because most teams are going to blitz him. I mean, that is really the only way to beat the Lions, is to make Jared Goff uncomfortable. So you have to expect a lot of these teams are going to come into games and it's going to be mostly blitz heavy. But if they can continue to do that, you lean on Penei Sewell, you lean on Frank, the guys up front. Jared Goff has to go out there and absolutely sling it. And I'm not saying throw, for 60 attempts every game, but he needs to go out there and have a healthy 30 to 40 every game, in order for the Lions to be that team going forward in the playoffs.
Shout out Randall Smalls as well, $5 super chat. He said Ben Johnson will utilize a weapon we have underutilized all year, and that's J-Mo. And you know what? Just before we get into what's trending, just from the defensive side of the ball, that's where we've been hit the hardest. So from a strategy standpoint, that's where the coaches are going to have to step up. From a personnel standpoint, I don't even know where they go anymore. It's just the guys that are here, the dogs that we still have to still be those dogs. And they have to take it to another place, which we've seen this team be able to do time and time again. And if the offense picks them up, then you're talking about reducing the amount of time and amount of possessions they're going to face against all of these quarterbacks. And they've done largely, the offense has largely done a good job at that. There's been some games where some turnovers have put the defense in some bad predicaments. And there's been games where Aleem McNeil wasn't in and Brian Branch wasn't in, and the defense still picked this team up and still gave the offense opportunities they need to seal these types of games. And so that's where from a defensive side, I'm definitely curious about what you guys are seeing, either strategy and or personnel wise.
Yeah, I'll let the guys go first.
What up, though, Kavasier Chase, man?
Sorry,
are you ready? We talking about what the Lions can do from a strategy standpoint and or personnel standpoint to overcome on the defensive side of the ball, after kind of going through the offense and seeing that they still have the ability to reduce the amount of possessions and opportunities that defense is going to be put in.
Oh, I mean, like, one of the best ways to limit the amount of time your defense is on the field is getting pressure on the offense. I know we're pretty limited with the defensive line, but just figuring out scheme-wise ways to cook up some type of pressure, whether that be, just some stunts that I know you were talking about an E&E yesterday, whether that be bringing in some extra pressure from the second level, whether it be the linebackers, whether that be the defensive backs. I know the window for reactivation for Ife Melifanu just opened. So, someone like that could end up playing a more significant role near the line of scrimmage. So I think it's just about taking the pieces you have and trying to use those ingredients to whip up the best meal you can, essentially. It's a little analogy. It's kind of how we're trying to piece this together.
Bro, listen to this, dog. Just the polars here. What a name too. Kong Dong Along.
Oh shit.
Whoa.
Okay.
He says defense is cooked, and then Xavier D, he says defense spit and grit.
Hey.
It's like like the polars, but that dude Justin, what's the strategy? What's the personnel? Because I know earlier you said personnel-wise, there ain't much more that they can go and get. But obviously, strategy-wise, I do believe these coaches, they are elite. They are elite.
They're going to have to find a way to plug and play like these pieces with Iffy coming back, with Rakestraw coming back in the next couple weeks as well. You're going to have to keep them off balance, and the only way to do that is blitzing from unorthodox places, running these stunts, and that's what you're going to have to do. You've seen Aaron Glenn be Dr. Blitz before and dial up all these different blitz packages, and that's what he's going to have to do to get pressure, because you saw against Josh Allen. Josh Allen had decades to throw. He sat back there, clean pocket, or the ability to be mobile and get outside and stand there. He made that one throw to Keon Coleman. That's inexcusable. You have to be able to make plays. You have to be able to negate the millions of years that Josh Allen has to throw. And the only way to do that is to blitz. We don't have the pass rush. We don't have the players to make the pass rush happen anymore. Like, we've lost Hutch. We've now lost Lee McNeil. Now it's going to have to be generated in other ways, mostly through Aaron Glenn scheming blitzes that are going to have to get us pressure.
And they're going to have to hit home. That was the thing. There was a couple times where it felt like they had the right calls against the Bills, but Josh Allen continued to break containment. A couple missed tackles. Times where it was like, yo, they got the sack, and it's just one little move, and boom. And we've seen this. The other game that they lost this year against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it was due to some things like that. Everybody knows about the juke heard around the world that the broadcast instantly wanted to compare to freaking Barry Sanders.
I know, man.
That still just don't sit right with me. But they do got to figure that out, and I believe it's been one of those Achilles heels for their defenses, but they've done better this year at having at least the right play calls for it. This is where talent has to step up and play above their skill set right now. This is where the players have to, because you're down to your third, your fourth, you're down to your backups, you're down to your replacements, you're down to even as Zadarius Smith, who wasn't here initially, you brought him in. I know some people believe maybe they do a deal like that anyway, whether Aiden gets hurt or not. But these are the players that you're down to right now.
Yeah.
These are the guys, and I do believe that they have what they need to step up, but they have to execute. Aaron Glenn had them in some good positions against the Bills, and they just didn't step up. I saw your doppelganger, KG, was Calvin Shepard was going crazy.
He was
interchangeable, going crazy on the sidelines at the linebackers and the people who were supposed to be filling into those positions. But just defensively, when you're talking about Iffy on the way back, and you heard Kavasi Chase talking about it, and just how strong they are and versatile they are with their safeties. What are you looking for with their ability to be able to mix them in, not just the blitz package, but also stopping the run, also mixing things in with the linebacking core? Because Brian Branch did have, I believe, 2 tackles for loss in that game against the Bills.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought those names up, because there is specific players I'm looking at in which they need to step up in order for this defense to be successful. JB, real quick, did you have any comments on the defense and just, what they need to do specifically to be able to withstand the stretch?
Not the defense. I pretty much agree with Justin as well, too. Aaron Glenn is going to be working double time this week to try to figure out some new schemes, some new blitzes to disguise some of these things as well, too. I mean, we've got familiar old faces returning to Detroit as well, too. And hell, you never know. I mean, you could see a Sue sighting sometime soon here. But as far as offense,
Sue not coming, dog.
I think Ben Johnson has this already planned up. He has a treasure chest full of plays that he's just been waiting to, pull out and burn. But hell, you might not even need them as well, too. So this is all relies on the defense side of the ball. And like I said, AG is going to be working double time this week.
No, AG is definitely a big part of that. But 3 players that I'm looking at, the first one being Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith is somebody that was brought in to kind of give you what Aiden Hutchinson gave you. Now, of course, he's not Hutch. Nobody is saying he's Hutch, so hold the Twitter fingers. But, Zadarius Smith needs to come in here, and he needs to be your best pass rusher, because that's what he is at this point. He is your best and probably only real chance to get home on most plays. So the pressures he provides is great. You would like to see him get home just a little bit more, especially in the face of Aleem McNeil going down, because Aleem was doing so much from the interior that he was freeing up people on the edge to make plays. A Pat O'Connor, a Josh Paschal, a Zadarius Smith, Al-Qaeda Muhammad that we saw. So without him being there, you still have DJ Reader, which is great, but you're going to have to find some ways to get to the quarterback, because what Josh Allen did against the Lions was absolutely unforgivable, bro. He was back there, and it kind of reminded me of that Ravens game from 2 years ago, where Lamar Jackson literally had 7-8 seconds to pass, and even when he got out of the pocket, he was going untouched and just pretty much doing whatever the hell he wanted to do. So Zadarius Smith is somebody that I'm looking at, and he's been great since he's been in a Lions uniform. Let's not mistake that at all. Yeah. But he needs to do a little more because he is the most tenured person on this defensive line. He is the veteran that you're going to have to lean on in terms of playoff situations because he's been there and done that. So they are going to look to him to be able to make plays. And I think Zadarius Smith, if they can, in terms of AG, if he can scheme up, some ways to send some pressure and kind of free up teams from keying in on Zadarius Smith, then I feel like we'll be fine. The other two players I'm looking at is the best safety tandem in the NFL, and it's Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph. And just coming from the standpoint that we have to create turnovers. I told you we have to take chances. We have to get aggressive on defense, and that's going to coincide with, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph doing what they've done all year. We've seen Kirby Joseph, I think he's still leading the league in interceptions. If not, he's definitely in the top 3. Brian Branch is somebody as well that you can utilize all over the field in terms of, run support and dropping him in the coverage. So they have to be opportunistic, and they have to go out here and try to create turnovers, because if this defense can generate more turnovers, then it'll be a lot better on the offense. It'll be a lot better on the defense as far as getting off the field.
It's been missing for a
They
few
have
weeks.
to take some of these offensive possessions back from the other team. So if we can get production from those 3 guys, then I feel like the Lions will still be in a good position, especially when you got an Enzo and an Iffy coming back to help you.
Yeah. And, we got to get into everybody's favorite segment. I see Jay Cruz in 71. He says, scheme won't hit without the right guys who are obviously injured. No, at this point in time, you scheme for the guys you have. That's just what you do.
Yeah.
You don't go out and put those guys in a position that you think, well, you know what, go be Aiden. If he's not Aiden, then you put him in a better position that caters more to his skill set.
Exactly.
And that's what this team has done very well. That's how they got to the NFC Championship game last year. Funny boy Roddy, $4.99 super chat. Skull Vikings, we on y'all tail now. LOL. You know what, man? It was funny because last year we couldn't really stop the offense, but exactly what he was saying. Didn't that work out? What was I swear our safeties should be in their nightmares, Vikings fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't understand, because Justin Jefferson be having good games, and the last memory I had of him was, hey, Amon-Ra, get me out of here, bro. Come get me. That was it. Come get me. Skull that. That's what Justin Jefferson was talking about.
I love that comment too, because they put in a crucial detail. Lol, because we're laughing at you.
He's laughing.
We are laughing at you, thinking that you have a chance. We are laughing at you.
They thinking about us, and we don't play them until the last game of the year, bro. And I can't blame Vikings fans for being excited, but you still got to come in the Ford Field and make it happen, bro. You don't want the Lions being talked about anymore. Do something about it.
Hey, do something about it. We've seen our team win like this already. That's why I'm just like, okay. Until I see them not do this, I'm not going to count them out. They've already played above their talent level because the coaches are elite. What, now you're going to doubt them? Let's rock, man. Hey, JB Smooth, let's say what up, though, to a couple friends, and we'll get that what's trending in.
All right, for sure. First Mark White, then Caesars.
Mark White, he gonna do you right. Pause and let me get my read. I hate this damn mic always riding up too, by the way, man. This shit is annoying. But dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch. Listen, we all are, man. This inflation is absolutely ridiculous, and it's only gonna get worse from here. But Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help you. Mark White and his team will pay to up to 5 racks of your closing costs. Yes, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesales.com. Again, call Mark White today, not tomorrow, today. 248-290-8242 to make your housing dreams come true.
And you know where you got that money from? Caesars Sportsbook, of course. The official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan the QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. Deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. And you know what? If it doesn't hit, they'll throw it right back into your account with no questions asked. It's the Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. You know what? Make some money tonight.
Get energized for the holidays during the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Now through December 20th, join for $1 down, $15 a month. And recharge this holiday season and beyond in the clean and spacious judgment-free zone, filled with equipment for every workout. Stay motivated with free fitness training and lots more. Celebrate the 12 Days of Fitness at Planet Fitness. Join for $1 down, $15 a month. Hurry! Offer ends December 20th.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer. Continuing on this football season, Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature wings that you see on screen right now for this football season. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add some fresh wings to game day, especially for you today. 7 different to choose from right now. If you don't have time to go in store, you can always order online at Sorokis.com. Dan, why not check out Dr. Pierce as well, too?
Hey, you know what? Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and every Thursday during Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering you top-notch injury advice. You got to trust the guy that D-Mac trusts, because Dr. Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. All you got to do for more information, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
And 1800.
1800
tequila, man. And listen, while you're drowning your sorrows, you might as well do it with the official tequila of Woodward Sports and the Detroit Lions. But join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every single Lions game. This Sunday, we will be at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, watching a Bears beatdown. It's going to get ugly, y'all. And we're going to celebrate that win with Smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your and our Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila is the best taste in tequila. And please, y'all, drink responsibly.
Man, my man Cavassier Chase, bro.
What Chase on,
look
man?
at his face. I ain't gonna say. Look at
what, man?
I ain't do nothing. Seriously, Cavassier Chase.
Pastor Cavassier. No, I heard you was active at the party the other night.
Party was hype.
I heard you was trying to get active. I heard you was trying to get active, man.
Hey, no, that dude Justin, man, it's suave pairing there too.
Justin we got to meet Justin's girlfriend. She is super, super cool. Like, really, really awesome girl.
You guys moving around, floating around the party look like a freaking movie, bro. My man Justin, he was in there with the suit. He looked like a mafia boss.
A-list couple shit.
He looked like he was trying to fight Batman. You know what I mean? He was in the suit, the shirt kind of on. He was just walking around there like, what up?
Wow.
KG, you would have been proud.
No, I definitely. You in the suit, man, I can't even picture it, bro. Like, that's Wall Street type shit.
I can't lie. When I start hosting my own show, which hopefully is in the near future, I can't lie. There was a part of me that wants to show up every day in a suit.
Hey,
I'm not mad at that.
Hey,
I think it's somebody that used to be at this network that used to do that. So.
I really love this foundation we got at Woodward Sports. But let's get into everybody's favorite. That is what's trending. It's time to spark a word to Jar.
Cook up.
Let's get it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
He is the best of the Midwest, JB Smooth.
Let's rock with them double boters.
Oh my God. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Shout out to you guys as well too. What's happening to these videos? I gotta ask you guys, is this legal? Can this actually work?
Probably not.
Hi-ya!
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh my God. He pulled the Antonio Brown.
Hi-ya!
No, he pulled a Liu Kang. Like, that shit is crazy. Yeah, that can't be legal, bro. But he did it. It did it and it worked. So
he did it. Hopefully Jameer Gibbs could try to pull this off too. Go ahead. Hit him with that kick.
Look at Justin just standing in amazement.
The dude does like a backflip. He really gets.
He hits him with the full Spider-Man kick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
God.
Yeah, I guess he does do the Spider-Man pose in the air.
This is Sparta. God damn.
Oh my Lord.
That's wild. That's wild. What else is even wild too is, you know what, KG, don't forget to bring the folding table at the next Thanksgiving.
Oh, we putting somebody through it? What's going on?
Nah.
Hey. People acting mad, but somebody got to do it. Hey.
You got to put it on the top of the car and just lower the back windows and just strap it through the back window. It was so much easier. You wouldn't have to keep your doors open. So much safer.
No, this is wild.
Like there was a much smarter and simpler way to do that.
Yeah,
Nah, we're just putting it in the back seat.
If this is an actual like foldable table, I'd be pissed off if I'm like on the freeway with this guy, because it's like you asking for an accident. That's crazy.
At this point, just buy a new table, the one that folds in the middle, for like $30.
I'm telling you, man, like I said, if you guys just put it like the length of the car on the top of it, just lower the back windows. You just got to strap it through the back windows. You don't even got to lower them all the way. It's so much easier. I've had to do this. I had a car. I put a futon on the top of it and drove it back to my dorm.
All right, you wild for this damn futon, man.
Right.
Like that is crazy. And finally, I will end what's trending with this because, guys, you know, it's the holiday season. Hopefully you guys got your Ring doorbells because they are stealing packages off of everyone's doorsteps as well, too. But
that shit lame. People still do that?
Yeah, people still do that. But I think it's time that you might need to put a Ring doorbell on your car. Wait for it.
Oh, my man finna snatch the tree. What? He finna snatch the tree. That is crazy. This is why I don't fuck with Christmas, bro. It just make people do stupid things.
And
like
threw it in the back seat.
Threw it right in the. That's crazy.
That's wild, bro.
In broad daylight.
Plotting on somebody's Christmas tree is wild.
In
bro.
broad daylight.
You deserve nothing but fucking coal in your stocking. If there was ever such a thing, like your Christmas need to be burned to the fucking ground.
The Grinch personified.
Yeah, like bro, Christmas trees are expensive. If you're buying real trees, they are expensive.
The way they put the tree on top of that car is the way they should have put the table on top of that other car.
That's a fact.
You missed it for the last video.
Oh man. I'm still trying to figure out here, like, broad daylight.
Plotted on his tree, bro.
The season of giving, and they're like, nah, I'm taking that.
No,
that's
taking.
weak
It
as
ain't giving.
hell,
It's
bro.
taken. It's taken. But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Let's hop in some mailbag while we got some time.
Definitely, because Neil is in the building, so we're gonna try and sneak in a couple. So let's hear from our friends at Feldman, and if you guys have a couple questions, Feldman mailbag questions, get them into the chat, and we will read a couple before we wrap up today. It's been a great show. Thank you guys for supporting us, man. If you get a chance,
we appreciate
smash that like button. We're so close to our super goal today, man. So if you guys can help us get there, it means the world, especially for my guy up here at the desk, KG.
Hey, appreciate y'all.
For our guy, Flannel Sam.
Appreciate y'all, man. But of course, Feldman Chevrolet, we were there yesterday. It is Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. With 18 locations, there is a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com today and find the nearest location to you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports live from there every other Monday. It is Feldman Chevrolet.
Hey, and you know what? It's time for the Wake Up Woodward mailbag segment presented by the Feldman Automotive Group. And hey, thank you guys for getting a couple of these. These are good ones too. Is Ed O'Neill. Word to Ed O'Neill. He is one of our OGs here. Feldman mailbag. If the Lions don't win the North, is it a disappointment? I think so, considering they control their own destiny.
It's a disappointment.
I'll be disappointed if they don't win the North.
No, for sure. That should be the least of the things that they win, because all they got to do is finish it out, and you got a favorable schedule. You're going against the 49ers, who are very beat up right now. You're going against the Vikings, and you're going against the Bears. Your toughest game in there is, of course, the Vikings, because the last game of the year is going to probably mean something, and they're going to come to play. But you need to handle your business, man. You, like I say, we in too deep at this point to just be trying to mail in the North or mail in the #1 seed. You got to go out there and prove it.
Talk about it, man. Talk about it. Let me see here. Who has a higher ceiling, Ron or Asar? This is from Alan W. Feldman mailbag. I think I'm going to go with Asar, but I think we have two special things there. Both of them are starting to hit threes too. They are starting to look more comfortable taking the shots, and you want to start to see them falling more. But them hitting 1 of 2 and then 1 of 3, stuff like that, you live with that, especially with those other misses being, rim outs.
You don't need to be a sharpshooter. You just have to be a threat. Defenses have to respect it and go to check it. But so I like the improvements that they've made. It's still not perfect yet, but I feel like Ron Holland has the potential to be the better shooter of the two. But what Asar gives you defensively, he is literally a weapon on defense. You just plug and play him. He guards 1 through 5. He creates energy. He can create turnovers. And when his scoring is on, watch out, man. Like, he had 19 the other night, and I felt he looked damn good. So he can get to the rim as well. So I really like what both of them bring, but Asar, of course, is your better piece.
Oh, yeah. And that's what he was drafted to be. He's a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, has a few more skill sets, and you really can't stop him when he wants to get to the rim.
No, that's a fact.
The downhill action that we were taught, I was like, bro, he doesn't have to be able to shoot threes. who was able to stop him from scoring from the perimeter?
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the downhill action, the drives from the perimeter, if you sag off of him, believing he can't shoot the three, he's cutting right behind the defense. A couple times, Cade just lobbed it up to him as well.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to bring to the table. And then defensively, I'm sorry, Ron and Asar, they hustle their tails off.
No, that's
they
a fact.
hustle, and that's what Ron wants to be. He said he don't care, and we had that when we got to talk to him through the over the season, through the off season, over the summer. He said, I just want to do whatever I can do to contribute to this team winning. That's the foundation of these young Pistons right now. That's why we say go out and support them. But
yeah, hey, real quick, Leo Cromartie, I see you, Brody. What up, though?
Yeah, and I want to say this one, John. Hey, shout out to Leo Cromartie. John F. and Lord, Feldman Melback, KG, and JB. How you feel about the War Raiders winning the tag team championship, and do you see Damian Priest and War Raiders forming a team?
No, I don't see them doing that. But shout out to the War Raiders because I've been a fan of them for a while. I felt like they had a really stupid gimmick. You know, Vince made them Vikings and shit. Like, nobody's doing that in 2024. But I feel like this is the downfall of the Judgment Day. And me and JB going to get into it on Woodward Ringside. Shout out to that. That content will be coming out very, very soon. But
very soon.
Yeah, like the War Raiders taking the titles, I feel like they can hold it for a while. And now you can play up the real downfall of the Judgment Day. But I know I'm going to let JB get in on this. But as somebody who has hated the Judgment Day for quite some time, what do you feel about them finally losing the tag titles?
I just expected the Judgment Day to be over with, but I'm happy that they lost the tag team titles. I predicted this as well, too. This is what's going to happen. And I believe, as what you said, too, this is the downfall of the Judgment Day. I think Finn Balor's going to just blow up at the Judgment Day, and then, boom, they just break up, and that's it. And that's when you get that solo run from Finn Balor, hopefully getting another title shot as well, too. But time will tell. I just hate Vince once again for doing the whole Viking thing.
Yeah, they passed that shit now. They on the other side, man.
Yeah, thank you. They got rid of that.
Real quick, hot take. I think Dom is going to leave Liv for Raquel.
That's not a hot take. Think that's just gonna happen.
No, I think it is, man. I think they playing the Latino Heat angle. They trying to make him a little more like Eddie, man. So if he gonna be Latino Heat, then that means he got to move on to the next one, man. So that's gonna be Raquel. But that's my hot take. That's my hot take.
We'll discuss it more over the ringside.
Oh yeah, y'all tune in.
Tap in. We got new content on the way. Shout out to Matt and Julie in the chat. Says I love the crew today, but it's fun. Okay, sometimes you just need a break. We work.
They don't even know.
Yeah. When we say we just hit the like button, we're not even asking for bread. Obviously, super chats we appreciate. More money is definitely better for the crew trying to put in the work, but at the very least, just you guys support with the likes goes a long way because this is almost a 24/7 grind. This is a situation where everybody from the guys that you don't see on camera to some of the guys you kind of hear sometimes to the guys that you see all the time, there's a whole lot of work going on, and sometimes you just need just a day. And Flannel was traveling, finally took a vacation. He's only taken off work, I think, for his honeymoon. One other time when he was sick, and this time. And we've been doing this now. He's been here. He got here maybe 2 or 3, 4 months right after me. So he's been here almost 4 years. And there's not a lot of breaks. Same thing with Woodward Sports MVP over there. And you see that dude, Justin KG and Kavasi Chase stepping into that as well. Yeah. That's just what it is. And so he's just getting a break. But I wanted to be able to break it down just so people can connect a little bit more personally and more vulnerably with the people who are representing your Woodward Sports personality and the people who are doing everything to make this go.
Nah, hey, my boy Flannel literally passed out for y'all entertainment up here. So I just want y'all to keep that in perspective, bro. He literally came up here and passed out for the show, dog.
Man,
so
that's how it goes.
We work hard, dog. We do.
Games, we do. And then we're literally like, it feels like I just fell asleep at like 2 a.m. Got the post-game article done, got home from LCA. And then we know to get here, we up at 5, 6, 7 prepping and getting here to the thing. So it's fun to be able to do this, and it's awesome knowing that we have you guys' support. Just a couple more here. Shane Daniel, Feldman Mailbag. After all the news, I'm at peace knowing we are still in control and only need to worry about our games, not needing help from other teams.
There you go.
That is appropriate, man.
There you go.
That might be the way to end this thing. So, goodness gracious.
Eric Allen, I see you, bro. We appreciate the love, man. Any and all love, and the hate too. We all the Viking and Bears fans, we welcome you. We welcome you, man.
We welcome you, man. I see. I'm just looking through the chat, man. Everybody's saying great show from Tony D. Let's shout out some people so they get some love. Tommy K giving the people what they want. Good work, fellas. Freddie fell 3 on 3. I'm eating a bowl of. Mike Reed, great show, fellas. Thank you guys. Greg Alspot, I've seen you throughout the entire chat.
Greg, my
Shout
guy.
out,
You
Greg.
know
Entire
that.
chat.
Greg, you my people,
I'm
man.
telling
You know
bro,
that.
we all going through stuff.
Greg's
Yeah.
from Jackson.
I'm serious.
Hey, real quick,
We are.
Dante151, I did see your mailbag question. We didn't get to it, but we do have an update on the fantasy football segment. We just got caught up the last couple weeks.
yeah.
Lions Thursday night games and Thanksgiving kind of just took us out of the thing.
I think
but
Dante actually beat me this week.
No,
so-
he did. Shout out to him, man.
Dante, congrats. Shout out to you, man. Way to end
Yeah.
the season on a win.
we are prepping for the playoffs, and also stay tuned because everybody involved is gonna get a little something. We working on something, to get everybody involved, show a little bit of love for participating, man.
Hey,
So.
just remember, I called the comeback.
You did, man.
I was in 6th place, and I told y'all, watch out. Now I'm the 2 seed. Let's
This
go.
is gonna be
That's
fun
fine,
down the
bro.
stretch,
It's
man.
playoff
I'll see you
time
in the
now.
finals, baby.
Yeah, it's playoff time now. I'm gonna see you in the championship. Don't worry
I
about
want
it.
to moderate this now, though.
Yeah.
I do. You've done admirable, but
Thank
you're
you.
in the race.
Thank you.
I think I want to really
Yeah,
hype this thing
I think we
up.
should change it. I don't think KG should
I
run the
want to
fantasy
hype
segment
this up.
anymore.
Yeah, I want to hype it. Kavasi, we're gonna talk, man. We're gonna have to get something going for this to really make this playoffs epic.
I got you.
Back walls, everything, even some side content, because I want to make sure that everything we can give to the chat family that are gonna benefit from this, that they can get that, man.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys. Let's get this chest pass going in that show. Oh, that's solid.
Yeah,
That's
you know I
solid.
gotta hit you in the pocket,
I like
man.
That was
You a
woo.
shooter, I gotta hit you in the pocket, bro. You just raise up after that.
Bro, did he just give you hoop?
I got you,
basketball
bro. I got you. We still ain't seen the
Still
footage,
waiting.
but I got you. We still ain't seen the footage. But I'm confident in you. I got faith in you, big dog.
Let's rock,
Waiting
bro.
on that mixtape.
It's been a show.
Yeah, I was about to say, where's that mixtape?
Listen, bro, it's on VHS. Let's be for real.
That's how you know it's bad. That bit's still on VHS.
Listen, you
Oh,
guys.
shit.
Thank you guys for choosing to kick off today with Wake Up Woodward, man. This has been an epic show. Flannel Sam, we cannot wait to have you back. You should be back tomorrow and finish out the rest of this week strong because I know he's on that FTB energy. But Cavassier Chase.
Pastor
What up, though, brother?
Cavassier.
Hey, what up, though, everybody? Good to be back in studio. I know I wasn't with you guys yesterday for the Feldman show, but glad to be back here, hanging out all day. So stay tapped in. We got 49 minutes till Big D Energy starts off. Ermanni and Edwards 2-4, heavyweights 5-7. So you guys know what it is. Stay tapped in. We're looking forward to hanging out in the chats, and let's hope we have a great Tuesday, everybody.
Hey, you know what? That dude Justin holding it down in the sound booth, decked out in the maize in blue. What up, though, brother?
Hey, I mean, we got a week going here. We got the Bears. I'm going to the Red Wings game on Wednesday, so
Hey,
I'm
shout
excited
out.
for that. Michigan basketball plays in a ranked matchup, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday
I'm
in the
watching that for
Jumpman
sure.
Invitational against Oklahoma. So that's going to be a good game. So lots of Detroit sports on the cusp. Pistons won last night, so let's get it done, Detroit.
Hey, I see you, Tommy Cat. See you, Tabitha Gale. Hey, people are hitting that like button to try and help us reach that goal.
Yep.
Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth, more appropriately on a Tuesday. In the
Big
TD
breasts.
booth, JB Smooth.
Big
What up,
breasts.
What's up, y'all? Shout out to the chat family. Shout out to everyone in this room here. Flannel, get well soon,
Yeah,
man.
brother.
I know you're hurting right now, but hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Also, Dante151 said, Kool-Aid, is it on floppy disk or VHS? You gotta let us know. And finally, shout out
I do
to
have
Dan
music
Skipper.
on floppy disk still to this
Jesus
day.
Christ,
I
man.
promise to keep it.
Somebody
For
give my
adding to
man
the
some
family
help.
as well,
Somebody
too.
update my man's over here. You can at least have Blu-ray, dog. You talking about fucking floppy
Is
disk?
it on the floppy disk?
That's
for
where
real?
all your basketball tapes at on the floppy
I do got
disk.
some music to this day on floppy disk.
You can only watch his
Yeah.
highlights on Windows 2000 and shit.
I keep some of that stuff, bro. I used to.
Windows 2000.
my boy got the Windows 2000 highlights.
KG gonna make me pull out the newspaper clippings.
Oh God! You hear the newspaper clippings?
Oh, my God.
You not making it no better, bro. What the
newspaper clippings.
newspaper clippings?
Look, this is KG, Detroit's #1 draft
Hey,
pick, man. I'm glad to see these guys get opportunities and absolutely crush it. Black Hollywood, man. What a show, brother.
This ain't no newspaper. Live and in living color right here, man. But shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate the support, man. I try and get better at this each time I get up here. And I just appreciate y'all bearing with me and allowing me to come up here and do this, man. Shout out to my team, too. I love y'all. So
Hey, Michael Danye, Kool-Aid still got 8 tracks.
you probably do. Fucking Walkman and shit. That's when you listening to your hoop music on the Walkman.
I remember Dad got the
Walkman,
disc,
the
man. I was so
anti-skip.
ecstatic, bro. But it's your boy Brandon, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, man. Dog, I love this crew. I love the chat family. Seeing all the love that's entering the chat right now. I'm telling y'all, it's a lot of hard work and still a lot of personal lives that we got to take care of. So just seeing the support, it means the world. Thank you guys for staying tapped in. It's been Wake Up Woodward. Have a day, you guys.
See, Freddie.